You done being a huge distraction in there?
Distraction? Are you kidding me? I'm the only one keeping this ship afloat in here.
What the hell happened?
I don't know. I came in this morning. Nothing was working. I had to get on I was on my hands and knees. I was rerouting wires. I was replugging in things. I was rebooting. I'm an uploading, downloading guy today. No, finally, and now we're all set because the last piece of this puzzle is we have to record the show every day. And that is the bread and butter of what we do. And I was not getting any levels into this computer. So I was like, I'll take 10 minutes, figure this out so we can get at least 2 hours and 57 minutes of a podcast up. Instead of, so it was kind of a pain in the ass. So I apologize if I was distracting you.
I'm going to write down the time and then see if we can just deduct that from your paycheck for that, like 10 minutes. That's okay.
You mean double my pay during that time? Is that what you mean?
You're like emptying the Titanic before it sinks. Because we're the Titanic, by the way.
Yeah. So anyway.
It is the Titanic.
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
Well, Tom wanted to tell you about a guy in the streets when he was
I wanted to wait till
on University.
Okay. Because I went over to Hubbard yesterday for about an hour. Had a little lunch with Dan Seaman, had a really nice talk with him. Bernie and I talked for about an hour last night, and I finally got to bed about 10:30 last night. It was one of those deals. And I don't mind that. It's my job, and I got that. But one of the things we talked about is like this script. You see that script?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about, could you send me something over that I don't need a
jeweler's loop?
Yeah, jeweler. That's right. I need a jeweler's
I haven't heard that
loop.
in a long time.
Yeah, God, how long has it been? We're talking about jewels in the teeth yesterday. Now we get the jeweler's loop.
Right.
But no, it's things are going along really well. So I went over there to meet with Dan, and Amy and I met as well. There are some great things coming for this show, which is really nice, which I was going to talk to you about this morning, but because of mechanical problems, didn't have any chance to do that. But I get off, I'm on 94, and I get off on the University Avenue exit at 94, which is about, 2-3 blocks east of the Hubbard building, something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the street, there's a dazzling urbanite giving 2 fingers to every car, and he'd walk up to every car and scream, F you at him. And he was like 5 cars ahead of me. So finally, by the time I got up to him, he was still doing it, and he's like jumping up and down, F you, everybody, right? I rolled my window down, and he just stared at me. He thought that nobody would ever not be intimidated by him. He was just out there to intimidate people. What is that all about now?
I don't know. Because I drove that literally, I was behind you about 45 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm surprised he wasn't still out there, because he was literally jumping up and down and giving you the finger and screaming F you to everybody.
Some guys rock climb. Some guys give the bird to people on University Avenue. Everyone's got their thing.
That's exactly right.
He broke.
But I just... What was he trying to achieve? That we need to know that he hates the world?
I have no answer to that. And if I did, you should be scared. If I'd be like, here's the reasoning.
That's true.
Did he look like he just crawled up out of a dirt hole?
No, he actually didn't. He wasn't dressed well. He was his clothes were clean.
Okay.
They were casual kind of stuff.
Okay.
But he was pissed off at the world about something.
Because every time I see something like that, and I notice that somebody's clothes are a little ratty, and I always go, you know what? That's probably mental illness or drugs. I bet if this person,
it's gotta be.
I bet if this person was somebody who was on the normal track and wasn't homeless, they wouldn't be acting like this. So I never ever put it on somebody. Although the big uptick, I don't know if you've noticed this recently. Have you noticed the amount of people that are sitting at the ends of exits with their children holding signs?
With signs, yeah.
That drives, there's nothing more that drives me insane than when I see people sitting outside with their kids and using them as bait to get money.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
It really does. I'm like, first off, you are, maybe I get it. I am a very privileged person who gets to live a very fun life, and I'm very grateful, but I've worked very hard for it, and I know you probably haven't had the breaks I have. But what you are doing is teaching these kids that it is okay to not work to get yourself up out of a hole.
That's correct.
And it really is. It really does drive a stake in me.
So Gogo was about 3 months old, and I started going back to school at Concordia, which isn't, super close to...
What a waste of time. Just kidding.
I mean, and so that area is just full of that. And I remember I just left Gogo for it was the first week I ever left her. My hormones were crazy. It was the long day and I drive up and a woman's holding a baby and she has a toddler sitting there and she's asking for money and I just start bawling because you just can't like to be. I don't know how you get to that position, but I just feel I don't know. And you're right, like. I don't know if I'm mad or sad, but I just felt like a rush of emotions. Like, it's terrible.
Understand something. About 90% of that is bullshit.
I
It is. I mean, some people need the money. Other people are just doing it to get the money so they don't have to work.
I know, but my brain doesn't do a good job differentiating that and then also putting up that quick layer of like, oh, they're fine. You know, I'm just like...
Well, I don't think anybody does that, but I'm just saying you have to understand that most of those people are just there because they don't want to work.
Okay.
Yeah. And they probably rent the kids. I wouldn't doubt they rent.
It's like Disney World. You're bringing kids in just to get yourself to the front of the line.
That's exactly it. No, look, if people need your help, and look, you've been around us long enough to know Catherine and I spend a lot of dough and a lot of time helping people
absolutely.
out. That's what you're supposed to do.
You guys absolutely do that.
But I will never give money to somebody on the side of the road. Never going to happen because you can't prove to me that you really do need it.
Do you know what I do a lot is I give my apple away because I usually have an apple in my purse.
Well, there you go.
And honestly, this is what makes me believe like that things are okay because people are excited to get the apple.
Get an apple.
I don't know why.
There
Like,
you
you
go.
know what I mean? Like, that's what part of it. I've never had somebody say, no thanks. I'm like, do you want this apple?
I don't want your apple.
Because, like, I don't know if I'd take a random person's apple
You know, that used to be illegal.
to give away food.
No, to stand on the side of the road like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It should be illegal because it's very dangerous.
Yeah, it
mean,
is dangerous.
Because if you're holding up a sign and I'm driving a car and the guy behind me, maybe he's looking at his phone.
I know.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. They should not allow that stuff. Look, we got to put a lot of laws back in place because people think they can do whatever the hell they want to do now, including walk down the street in major cities and shoot people to death.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
You just don't, I mean, at the end of the day, you should feel really lucky because we do all these things to protect our kids, right? Like, I don't even like.
I don't, but
Well, yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
You've been
no.
throwing your kids at the deep end of the pool for years.
Exactly.
Like, you don't even want your kid near, you know, like when
Right.
you're crossing the street, you don't even
Right.
want them near cars. And then these people have to be, they're in a situation where they're putting their kid, and you just go, I'm so thankful that, like, Gogo has everything she needs, and I don't have to put her in positions like that.
Well, I mean, the one thing I will tell you as we move forward, because we've got to take a break here, but I am very, very happy to hear that all those people that sit by the side of the road with 2 children they rented and collect cash from you, I'm glad that they're paying their taxes on that. So, you know, because I guarantee you the IRS is getting a statement at the end of the year on that, don't you think?
Well, yeah,
well,
Yeah.
about that.
So that means basically for every dollar you get them, they're actually getting $2 because they don't have to pay any taxes on it. Well, they're supposed to, but they don't.
But if they're renting a place and don't own a place, doesn't
Yeah.
it all ends up in the government's pockets anyways. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, renting. You think they're renting? They probably live in some. I do remember one time because a friend of mine told me about this, so I drove over there, and I can't remember what. It was in Minneapolis. He said there's a guy that stands there every day asking for money, walking up to the cars. I mean, this guy would even like tap on your window, kind of guy, which I don't think they can do anymore. But he said, do me a favor. Just go over there and kind of wander around for a while, right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I did. I just went over there because I find that stuff fascinating. And the guy packed up his I'm needy clothes and all that stuff, walked around the corner, walked down about 2 blocks, got in his Mercedes and drove away.
Oh my god.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be the exception.
Oh, I don't think so. I think about at least 80% of those people are scamming you. That's what. Look who we got. The former president and current president. All they did was scam us. So what are they learning?
Yeah, I just don't think somebody would choose to sit out there unless things were dire.
You really believe that?
Yeah, because
Even if they get free money.
Yeah.
No, it's just not. That's not the case. I mean, I've looked at the studies of it. Most of them are just making it up. Not all of them. Look,
Yeah.
some people need help. I'm not saying they don't. And Catherine and I help out everybody we possibly can.
I know you do, and I don't want to convey that neither of you guys are.
No.
Yeah, you guys are both charitable, awesome, but I just don't. I don't know. My heart says that that's last case, our last resort is standing on the corner and asking for money.
Why wouldn't you just call in to the show and say, hey, look, if you guys send me $50, I won't stand on the corner? Why don't they do that? That's a good approach.
Because they can make 200 standing on the corner.
Exactly
That's
the
why,
answer
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's exactly the answer.
And I do kind of agree with Brittany in the fact that it does seem like there are people that definitely it is their last resort.
Oh,
But
yeah,
but
some.
even the
Yep.
I chatted with a woman who was a part of the Minneapolis City Council who was like on a board for homelessness. And I said, what's the protocol? What do we do when we pull up to an exit and there's a person standing
Right.
there with a sign and they look disheveled? And she said, the worst thing you can do is give them money and food.
That's
It's
correct.
the worst thing.
It is.
Try to put that person, give them information for resources, anything else, because there are resources and there's great resources. I understand we have a homeless problem here in Minneapolis, but it is nowhere near what Los Angeles, New York, Austin, any of those places. We actually have good resources here, and just people. And the reason why people don't want to go to them is they can't have drugs. That's the number one reason why.
Yeah, it's
they
true.
won't go to them because then if they get off the street, they can't have their goodies. So we have to figure that out. So yes, the number one thing, Tom, you're doing the right thing. Brittany, stop having such a big heart. You're not doing any
I'll
favors.
always give him food. I'll give him
You're
water.
making it worse.
I don't care. I'm gonna give him an apple. Like why? Or water. If I have a bubble water in my car, I always give it away. Like
Why?
because like that's a human being standing there having a long day. Like it just is.
A long day.
He's not listening
Tom,
to us at all, Rudy.
Did you not hear Tom worked until 10:30 last night? That is
Yeah.
a long day.
Now you're talking. Yeah, what about that? Where's mine? Give me 50 cents right now. Damn it. Oh, I got an apple. Yeah, baby. I got an apple on a deal. Wait a minute. I got to. Oh, we don't have an ashtray in here. I was going to put some dirt on my face. Look, I know some people do need the money. That's not my argument. Catherine and I give so much dough away, and I only
know.
bring that up because I don't want you to think that I don't care about people, because we do care deeply about people. But Rudy's right, and I'm right, and you're way off the
I don't
mark.
care. I'll always give somebody if I have
Good
it.
for
I'll
you.
always will. I'll
I
always.
think it's your job to make the world worse.
I'm gonna give people like things I have in the car because at the end of the day, what 50-cent LaCroix or an apple.
Oh, I understand that part
Like
of it. Doesn't
that,
mean
I
anything
have
you.
to give that away. Like if I see somebody standing there on a corner, especially I don't know. I feel like we need to talk about something else.
Yeah, we sure do. We certainly
I
do.
just have a hard time with the kids and people and the standing outside.
Who
Yeah.
just said that? You just said I have a hard time. Who was the guy you went? Were the kids and the dudes?
I don't know. It
Who-
sounds like
remember that?
something.
The kids and the
And
dudes.
the stuff and the
All right, yeah. Look, here's what we should do.
What?
Maybe we should get some programs where you give them money, and then they take that money and help other people instead of buying $5 million houses.
I was going to say we can't because anyone who runs it is going to scam the hell out of that.
Exactly what I'm
With
talking about.
Zero accountability. What was it? Oh, that big charity that just you're referencing. What charity was that?
Feeding families.
It was so bad.
Feeding families. This was about the same exact thing you're talking about, and look what they did with the money.
I think this was on my day off. I was listening. You had mentioned that if one person had died from that, that person should be charged with murder.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because they kept the money. But at least our government stepped up and said, you took $11 million, you better give back at least $2 million.
Give back two at least.
Like, what? How about all of it? Oh, we do have to take a break here. Look, we're not trying to be negative at the start here, but it's just a situation where we've gotten to a point where I'm driving over to Hubbard, and a guy's in the middle of the street giving me two fingers and screaming F you at me, and I thought, how did we get here?
I hired him.
There's a shock.
I hired him to convey that to you.
And it could be mental illness,
I
or it
know.
could be, the guy's just a prick. I mean, it could be both,
Yeah,
right?
That could be a little of both.
So calm down, you pain in the ass, right?
Yes, agreed.
Okay, no, I was talking to you specifically.
I know.
Thank you.
But I
Thank you
also agree.
Anyway, okay, nice happy note to start this show this morning.
It's the
We go from a
kids.
guy giving me the finger. He was giving everybody the finger, though. Two fingers. Every car that went by, he walked up and gave him the finger and screamed F you at them. Every car. And people looked terrified.
Maybe he's mad about littering.
That's probably, yeah, I saw that potato chip bag. It's your fault. We do have to take a break here. So if you've been following my progress with mnfatloss.com, I've lost 27 pounds, and you can do it with mnfatloss.com. Summer special, $200 off, now only through July 30th. Look, I'm right now, I got like 4 or 5 days left in the maintenance phase, and I'm going back on part 2 because I want to lose about another 25 pounds. I cannot recommend this program any higher. Of course, any fat loss program is going to take some effort, but honestly, with mnfatloss.com comes secret to fat loss. This program was way easier than I expected, and that, by the way, is true. I would not tell you that if that's not true. This is way easier than I thought it would be. The maintenance program allows me to add back in some more of the foods that I love, still maintain my weight loss. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and so many other people have done. And you can save $200 with their summer special, $200 off now through July 30th. If you want to find out about the secret to losing maybe 20 to 30 pounds somewhere there in just 8 weeks, just like I did, that's about a pound of fat every day, no exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That is mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? An old school website with outdated information? Hubbard Interactive can help. They can do it all for your business. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They can build a 21st century website for you that communicates all the right things, all the best ways. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp, plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding. Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
Well, look who's here.
Did you miss me, Big Ticket?
Like an open sore Mrs. Carmex, man. Seriously, Doug, where have you been?
I'm running Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
The fireworks capital, just 15 minutes east of the St. Croix?
That's the place. Anyway, I've come up with some marketing slogans, to put us on the map. Read these and let me know what you think.
Okay. Flagship Ford, drive a lot, save a little. Flagship Ford, you think you hate it now? Wait till you drive it. Flagship Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Flagship Ford, where the cows are nervous. Flagship Ford, there is no ship, but we actually do literally have a flag.
Awesome, huh? Read this. It's my favorite.
Flagship Ford, white cars for... Oh, hell no, I'm not reading that. You've been day drinking again?
Maybe. The point is, buying a car should be fun and make you giggle a little bit. This is a great store I'm really proud of. You can check us out at flagshipford.com or email me directly at doug@flagshipford.com.
Flagshipford.com.
Boating season is here, and many of you will be hauling a boat to the lake this summer. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we encourage you to keep yourself and others safe by obeying the laws of the lakes. Keep in mind that children 10 and under are required to wear a life jacket at all times. It's also good to make sure everything on the boat is in working order before heading out into the water. Alcohol causes thousands of boating injuries every year. Remember that the captain is responsible for the crew and cannot be over the legal limit. And please, not only be aware of other boats in the water, but keep an eye out for water skiers, tubers, and jet skiers. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Please do your part to keep yourself and others safe on the lakes this summer.
You can find Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant and at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. Mike Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Working harder, going farther, with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Welshire.
It's difficult to put in words the relationship that we have with North American Banking Company. They've been there from the very beginning with our vision of providing quality dementia care for individuals, and they've been a partner all the way through. They really are there for us.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I just got a great email from one of our listeners. By the way, I met two listeners in the parking lot. I was telling Brittany this when I came in this morning. I pulled up, and the guy parking next to me, we walked out. He's a very, very nice guy. He's a big listener to the show. And then another guy came up in the vestibule and said, "Hey, listen to the show every day. Love the show." So I thought I'd pass it along to you guys. And one of our listeners just sent a text that said, "Why don't we do this? Why don't we make it illegal to stand on the corner again and actually help those people out instead of giving all our money so you can make more money?"
Done.
That'd be a good solution, don't you think?
That'd be
Maybe
great.
we actually take care of people who need our help instead of lining our own pockets, like every damn politician in Washington, D.C. Why did we ever allow that to happen?
I have no idea. I don't know the whole even the way that we do politics, and we just people have to promise they're going to do things, and then we both know what happens after they're not be held accountable. Is like people don't do anything if they're not held accountable.
That is kind of true, but as you know, I grew up a Democrat because my mother was a big time. She loved John F. Kennedy. I've talked about that before because he was Catholic.
Yeah, he was a Catholic.
I mean, that's why she loved him so much because she was a big time Catholic.
Isn't that funny too? Because my grandma,
it is, yes.
Grandma Hagen, is the same way. If she just automatically loves you if she knows you're Catholic. And my grandma's calmed down quite a bit. She used to be like, Brittany, are you going to get, go baptized? No, she never said that because this is like early on.
Oh, baptism deal.
Yeah, she used to ask if people are living with each other before marriage and stuff. She's calmed down a lot now. She's 95.
Really?
But, yeah, she used to have all those funny, like, well, they're Catholic. They must be good. I'm like, I don't know.
There must be good people.
And I'm not saying they're not, but it's
she should look into the Spanish Inquisition, see how that went.
Calm down, Tom.
But in any case, what the hell was I again? We were talking about something. Now I forgot what the hell it was.
Just you're saying how your mom automatically loved JFK because he was Catholic.
When I was a Democrat,
yeah,
I used to get bitched at constantly by Republicans.
But, like, how do you even declare, like, what you are?
Well, I can tell by looking at you what you believe in.
But, like,
it's really easy.
Okay, but, like, I just think it's funny when you go, well, what if you wanted to vote Republican on one thing and Democrat
Which is what I do.
Which I would assume most people do.
I don't think so.
Really? Like, you're just ride or die?
You're locked in, baby. Because then I tried being a Republican for a while.
How was that?
Then I got bitched at by all the Democrats. And matter of fact, Democrats can get really mean, I will tell you that. Well, they both can.
Yes, absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
Anybody who's, like, extremely into politics, I have a hard time being around because I just go, I can't. I have nothing to talk to you about.
But how is you being mean helping Republicans or Democrats? I don't get that.
And how is you being mean helping with anything?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Calm down. So now I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So I get some support from both sides, but I still get bitched at from both sides, too.
Of course you do.
It's like, leave me alone. Mm-hmm. I have a different life than you. Leave me alone. I'm trying to do the best I can here, trying to work with everybody, but you guys don't want to do that.
Everyone wants you on their team.
Yeah, that's true.
They want to chastise you for not being fully on their team.
And they come up with this bullshit, and it's like, this is a fact. It's like, that's not even close to the truth.
No.
I think there was a story a while ago, and a matter of fact, I even brought it up once, I think, on this show. I did some research. Remember they said that Fauci built a $38 million house?
Yeah.
Never happened.
Of course it didn't.
Well, that's not of course he didn't, because he eventually will, I can guarantee you that.
But I just mean, like, everything. I take everything unless I see it. I have trouble believing it. I mean, even when people tell me these statistics, you know how you can play with statistics.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that happen in the radio business. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying the best I can to find a spot for me politically, but there really isn't one.
Well, you got to make yours.
But what? Should I start a third party? The Catman Party.
Oh, God.
Be a Catman.
Just say you're the Green Party because nobody really knows what it is.
Yeah, it's true. I got trees in my yard. That's what I know.
Smoke a lot of weed. I know it's not that, but, like, let's just lean into that.
Do you think it's just natural that people, even if they don't know it, people have something in their brains that kind of pushes them to harm other people?
I think there's people out there that are like that.
Oh, there definitely are some people. But do you think everybody has a bit of that in them? That's why they're so hard-line, either Republican or Democrat?
I don't know if it's everybody. I think definitely for men especially, because our brains are just so scattered when we're young. Like, between the ages of 14 and 27, our brains are just like, man, they're going off like friggin', train bells all over the place. But I think after that, then yeah. But I think for the most part, I think we try, for the most part, I bet 97% of all people want to do good in this life. We all just want to be safe. We all just want our families to be happy. We have different paths of getting there, but unfortunately, the only places that the light gets shown are the 3% that don't have that same,
I don't think. Look, I understand you're absolutely right about protecting the family and making a good living for your family, all the rest of it. But I'm just talking about from the political standpoint. Nobody wants to get along with anybody else unless you agree 100% with me. I don't like you.
Yeah,
but I think
ridiculous.
But I think Rudy's right. Like the political world is not the 90%.
Oh, God. You ever watch the news? It's all politics.
But like my day to day is not full of people figuring out which side of the politics are you or this or that. Like it's not. And so my reality is more what Rudy's saying is that like I do believe that most people see me as a stranger and say, I hope that person doesn't get hit by a car today. And I would think in my mind the same thing back to them.
I doubt it.
Yeah. And the other problem is within that 90%, sometimes people have no idea what they are. Like I think that's true. Some family members, and when I say they have no idea, like they sit and go, I don't know who I am. Like they take a hard stance on one side or the other.
Funny?
But then totally back. Like for instance, I have a family member. I remember it vividly. We were at our cabin. Somebody turned on CNN. I'm like, this is a bad idea.
Yes.
Because there's 10 of us all sitting around.
Terrible idea.
And
you don't want to do that.
And I had a family member go, you know what the problem is with this country? I'm like, all right, here we go. And he's like, it's the Republicans in office. It's all these guys, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, he went on for 10 minutes. Fast forward to the next story on CNN that talked about welfare. And then he goes, well, you know what the biggest problem is? They got to be drug testing these people if they want to be on welfare. I'm like, I don't think you know what side of the aisle you're on, my friend. I think you're very confused about who you are.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
I think most people are very confused about what they believe and who they are.
Yeah.
Also, like, I think you have to make space for the idea that you don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Because I will accept the fact and I will openly admit I don't know what the hell is going on in 99.9% of America. This room, my computer.
Get out of my room, then.
I don't know what undergarments I'm wearing today.
Garments? You wear garments?
Garments?
God, she's guarding something.
But I'm just saying that, like, I think being smart enough to know you're an idiot is pretty powerful.
That would be great.
Yeah, like,
if
I'm not...
people understand their own perception.
Yeah, like I'm not going to
right.
pretend to know how to go, well, those people living that certain way in this community, here's how we solve it. I don't know what the hell their day in and outs are. I don't know what the hell's going on. And like I think admitting that you don't and not jumping in, like thinking about that family member of yours going, here's the problem, cracks me up because it's like, oh, you're so dumb you don't realize you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like I'm at least smart enough that I know I'm dumb.
It's like Tom. He's so hot, he doesn't know he's hot.
He's so hot.
Because I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
That's why.
That's exactly why I'm so damn
so
hot.
He
See this right here? This is very Martha. Ooh, I didn't even know it said Martha's Vineyard on it. That's pretty cool.
I like that sweatshirt.
It's a great spot. To close out, I would just say this. Here, the one thing I do live by, and I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I've been both. I don't hate Democrats. I don't hate Republicans. You guys do what you do. Here is what I live by. I love my wife and children and grandchildren. Therefore, because you're the closest to me, I'll say, okay, I'm going to go after Brittany publicly because I don't agree with what she says.
Yep.
Okay. The problem I have with doing that is I'm hurting your husband. I'm hurting Gogo. I'm hurting your mother.
Yeah.
I'm hurting so many people that are involved with you. There is just no way I can get that straight in my head that that's what I should be doing. But people do it every single day. They hurt everybody that you're connected to, but they don't care.
Yeah.
Or if they're too stupid to understand they're doing that.
Yeah, I think you're right with that because I think that I have a problem with vendettas. I
love vendettas.
My husband loves a good, like, let's have a villain. As soon as I get to know anything about, like, if I was like, Rudy is my new, like, villain. Like, I hate Rudy. As soon as he'd be like, hey, I gotta, if I'm, like, secretly trying to sabotage his career, and he's like, oh, I gotta pick up Kinley, she has a cold, I'd be like, Rudy's a human with a baby. And, like, if I get to know you, I've had people who I go, I hate that person. And as soon as I know that they have anything human, and if they have psoriasis, I'm like, oh, God.
I know.
Like, so
well, that's good, though.
As soon as I want to commit to ruining somebody, they show me anything, and I go, all right, well, I guess I'll be trying to be your best friend.
What do you mean commit to? So you're planning on ruining somebody, but you're not committed yet?
I'm not.
See, she's planning on it, though, Rudy.
I hated our last program director at Cumulus. I hated him. And then he got fired, and I felt so bad for him.
I understand that 100%.
I was like, I know his wife. I'd met her.
Very sweet.
I felt, and I was like, I had nothing to do with him being fired. I'm the lowest of the low on the totem pole. But I felt terrible about ever thinking, like, wishing that anything bad happened to him.
You know what's great about that is at the very end there, I couldn't stand our program director.
Yeah.
But the guy down the hall is an even bigger prick.
Absolutely.
So there you go. I was like, at least I don't have to put up with that asshole, so that's good.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the way you got to balance it all out.
Totally.
It works out. Look, right now, the program director would be Amy Daniels, so I suffer every day putting up with her.
I love
you
it.
know what I'm saying?
I love Amy Daniels.
Isn't she Daniels?
Daniels.
You been
so
drinking?
much. No.
A Bilba.
I think it's because I just feel emotional.
Although Daniels is a damn good last name. That's her.
It's no
Daniels.
Egert.
Yeah, every time she comes in with like, a new script or you guys got to change this, I'm gonna be like, okay, Amy Daniels, geez, back off a little bit.
I like it.
I love that woman.
And the next time I see her, I'm going to do this. I can't remember what movie it was. It was I think it was Charlton Heston. I'm going to walk up to her about 20 feet around and go, Daniels all to hell. What movie was that? Damn you all to hell.
Wasn't it Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
It would be pretty cool if she walked in the room and be like, Amy Daniels. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a
Daniels.
bad name. She's so lovely.
Unbelievable.
I love her so much.
She tells me every day when she first sees me, God, you're such a pain in the ass. And then by the time we're done, she gives me a big hug and goes, okay, love you. See you later.
It's so funny because around my talk,
terrific.
she runs my talk too. We
Uh-huh.
all want attention from mom. We're
that's
all like,
very-
hey, look at this, Amy. Look at this. All of us. We all revert to like babies around her, like little toddlers trying to get her attention.
I am not. Look, I'm a partner in the show. I don't work for the Hubbards and all the rest of it, but I will tell you, you got Dan and you got Amy, and if you can do better in that department, I don't know how. They do. They both care a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the part that really impresses me. They care a lot what this product is all about.
I know.
So
Dan's
that's
so
great,
cool.
isn't it?
Yeah, Dan's so cool, and
I don't know about cool.
He makes
I
me-
mean, you know.
so nervous.
Why?
I don't know. He makes me nervous. I spit out weird things. I don't know what it is. I better now, but I used to see him. He goes to a lot of plays and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd always be like, there he is. Like, I don't know. I just put him on a pedestal because he loves like live theater and stuff,
Right,
and like
yeah.
he's just cool. So
I don't know about cool. He gave me some phenomenal advice yesterday. I know we got to get moving on here, but he gave me some great advice yesterday because I went over to the Hubbard building to meet with him, and the great advice he gave me was, have the grilled cheese sandwich. Have you ever had their grilled cheese over there?
I've eaten everything that those guys fire out. Yeah.
Big
Rudy-
listeners too, by the way, both of them.
oh, I love him.
Although he was wearing a KS95 hat. I said, oh, you
Yeah.
listen to the show a lot? Why are you wearing a KS95 hat?
We don't have merch.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We don't have any merch yet. I forgot about
Tom
it.
and Brian are the two guys in the commissary. down
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
really nice.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
nice people.
I see Brian more, and there's. But Rudy put me on to that. They'll make you a sandwich too. So if you want to like. Oh, I love the food there.
The grilled cheese had no grease on it at all.
It's
It was not greasy at all.
It's pristine.
Phenomenal, man. God, we're just rambling on about our personal lives and how much we hate politics and love grilled cheese.
And that's what it's about.
It's what life is all about. You're absolutely right. No, it was a hell of a. Like I said, I met Donna Valentine for the first time face to face yesterday because I had heard over the billion years I've been in the business that Donna Valentine and I were going to work together. We never did.
That would have been a good show.
That's what everybody tells me that I'd work really well with her.
She is like she's so talented.
She's very pleasant.
And she's got this dry wit. You guys would be really fun together.
No, everybody over there so far. I have not met one prick in that building yet. There got to be some.
Donna is such a nice person that she was married to another broadcaster here in town, and when they got divorced, they still worked together very well and had like a very good career
Oh, see, I
together.
didn't know that.
Yeah. She was married to Tony Fly.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
News to
I
most
never
people. But
knew
yeah,
that.
no, in fact, when I found out about it, I met them together. And then Tony went with his wife, and then Donna was there. And then the guy that we were with was like, did you know that Tony and Donna used to be married? What?
No, I had no idea that was true.
I have a quick Donna Valentine story. I've worked with her a bunch of times, and she told me.
Okay, let me
this.
do an intro.
Okay.
For your story. Here's the intro story. On the Fly with Tony Fly.
Wait, but it's about Donna Valentine.
Oh, never mind that. On the Fly with Donna Valentine.
With Valentine.
There you go.
She was telling me how she fostered this dog, right? And she was saying how it was really hard, and this dog got adopted, and so she finally found somebody. You have to do interviews when people want to adopt the dog that you're fostering, and she picked somebody. and then spent 2 weeks driving by that house and making sure that dog was okay. And that was I was like, well, I love you because like I've fostered and let people adopt, and I want to do the same thing. And the fact that she did that, I go, first off, I'm probably telling somebody illegal that you're like stalking a house.
Yeah, way to go.
But like, how lovely of a person that she was just so concerned that she kind of like drove by making sure the dog wasn't like chained up outside. And
Tony flies where over at Odyssey now?
He's in L.A.
Oh, he's in L.A. Who am I thinking of?
He's not. It's not. Maybe it's Sirius XM. He's doing a show out there. It's like a 1 hour show, and I don't believe it's live. I think it's recorded. So he kind of does. He kind of does it when he can. So he'll kind of bank a few. Like he'll go in and do like a 6 hour day and bank like 4 shows or something like that.
So he lives in L.A. though. Now.
But I believe he's in L.A. Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, oh God, we got to take a break. We got the lovely and talented. Speaking of California, the lovely and talented Kristyn Burtt's coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll take a break. Be right back on My Pillow's 20-year anniversary with over. I talked to Dawn yesterday. Dawn Curtis.
yeah, lovely.
I told her to come in and do the show with us one day.
That'd be awesome.
She's phenomenal. I love that woman.
I saw her at Mall of America.
Plus, I would not want to fight her though.
No, but
She'd whip my ass.
she would definitely beat you up.
She would.
I think you and I could take her. Maybe.
Together, maybe.
If we jumped her.
Maybe, yeah, if we snuck up behind her and attacked her, exactly. Anyway, on My Pillow's 20-year anniversary with over 80 million My Pillows sold, Mike Lindell and the My Pillow employees want to thank each and every one of you by giving you the lowest price in history on their My Pillows. Queen size My Pillow's regular price is $69.98, now only $19.98, and just $10 more for king size. My Pillow's patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs to help you get the best sleep ever. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to get Mike's amazing offer on the queen size My Pillow for only $19.98. Enter promo code TOM. In addition to this special anniversary offer on the My Pillows, you will also receive deep discounts on all the My Pillow products, such as bed sheets, mattress toppers, pet beds, mattresses, My Slippers, and so much more. Take advantage of the biggest sale in My Pillow history. Go to mypillow.com, use promo code TOM to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his My Pillow. That's mypillow.com, promo code TOM.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase, go fly a kite, to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new 2109S Rockwood Mini Light travel trailer. The new lightweights from Rockwood are very popular. Tom hauls his trailer from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko New Market, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, exterior griddle, air conditioning are just a few of the standard features in his Rockwood by Forest River, from the place that is your ultimate RV headquarters since 1965. This is Tom Barnard. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
Kristyn Burtt here on the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Hey, how's things going? Is the strike fully on now?
The strike will be official as of 9 a.m. Pacific time. So no deal was reached at midnight. And I actually set my alarm at midnight to see if I was going to get an email saying TV contracts on strike, but it didn't happen. But they did send an email about 1:30 in the morning saying, you know what, we'll officially vote to strike at 9 a.m. Now, the membership has already authorized it. It's just the national board that will be the final detail. And we will see that happen, and we'll see people out in the picket lines as of today.
That's crazy. Do you just have this like constant need for always knowing the most up-to-date thing? Because who sets their alarm for midnight to learn something that you would have learned when you woke up?
I need to know right at the moment. It's really a weird thing. I think it comes with being an entertainment reporter. Like, you hate to be out of the know.
Yeah.
It's probably an issue with FOMO, the fear of missing out. But I did, and I was like looking, and I'm like, fumbling with like my phone and my glasses, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to bed, and I will deal with it when I get up in the morning.
Absolutely. And then we saw that the Emmy nominations came out. It's hard to get excited about it because what are the chances the Emmys are actually going to be on?
They're not going to happen. And I'm telling you that right now. I mean, that's not official, but let's just tell you, this is one of my KB predictions. The date is officially September 18th, but the TV Academy is already looking ahead to the postponement date. And they want to have it in November, because they want to get it done before the end of 2023.
Yeah.
But every year it rotates networks. So, 1 year it's on Fox, 1 year it's on ABC. This year it is Fox's turn to have the Emmys. And they're just saying, we have too much already on our schedule. We've got all of they have NFL and they've got all of their fall schedule. And they're like, we just don't have the bandwidth to do it in November. We can offer you a date in January. And what happens there is that you start to bleed into the award show season for film. So there's not a lot of dates available because you've got Critics' Choice and you have Oscars and you've got the SAG Awards. So it becomes very messy very quickly. And they're going to have to figure that out and sort of hash that all out. But the problem is, and I think that the actors' strike will be over sooner versus the writers' strike. The writers' strike, it looks like it's going to go into the fall. They will not do the Emmy Awards without the writers. But the other big issue is just planning. It's a huge event.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it unless you live in LA. The Emmys here are 2 weeks because the first week is all creative arts. So that's all below the line people, all of like lighting and, sound and everything else. That has a 2-night Emmy show called Creative Arts Emmys. And then the second week is the Primetime Emmys week. And in between all of that is parties and events and different things like that.
Financially, the city's going to take a huge hit by not hosting them then.
100%. Emmys brings in a lot of money because people come in from all over the globe to be honored for the Emmys. It brings a lot of money to downtown. The show is at LA Live, which is near our old Staples Center, now called the Crypto.com Center, which is weird.
Not as
but it brings I know, Crypto.com. But it brings in a lot of money into the city. The restaurants, the supporting industries, and they are all going to be affected. Things that you don't think about, florists. Flowers are huge during Emmy season and award show season. And these are businesses that got hit really hard during the pandemic, and now they're getting a second big hit with this strike.
There you have it. All right, that's enough of you, sister.
I'll be in my car.
Nice of you to join your show.
I love how both of you assumed I was talking to you.
We both thought we were being excused.
Exactly. Both of you went, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe we should have a Kristyn Burtt hosted our own Emmy Awards.
That'd be fun.
Seriously.
So fun.
Why don't we do that? Because there are a couple of shows that I've been watching that I would vote for heavily.
What are the shows that you would vote for heavily? Because I can tell you what was nominated, and I'll tell you if it's on the list.
Oh, so you know it was nominated?
Yeah, they came out yesterday.
You know when you sit with your legs up like that, you get too close to the mic. I just want to point that out. Just back up a little bit.
Perfect.
Look at that. That's perfect.
Perfect.
God, she's actually doing what I asked her to do now. Do you believe it? What the hell happened to you?
It won't last long.
Why are you so pleasant?
I'm not.
Should be back at the mic.
I'm not pleasant. What are you talking about? Yeah, when people sit in their chairs, they tend to lean forward like that. So you get it?
I'll tell you right now, it's going to win the Emmy for Best Drop.
You know I hate fat people.
Yeah.
I hate fat people.
There we go.
I don't know what was said. See, I'm out of all these jokes.
Yeah.
I'm always like,
oh, you can't hear that?
Unfortunately,
hear
can't. Yeah. So, but Brittany basically saying that she hates fat people. That is the drop. That's going to win. That one could win every year if you wanted to. Yeah.
I'm going to kill you. Like, I'm going to kill Rudy. He is easily our MVP, and I'm going to kill him.
Okay. In any case, so let's see. Who would I award in what category?
A comedy.
okay. Yeah, let's do comedy, because I'll tell you afterwards what the comedy nominees were.
It's very, very, very close, but I would go with Abbott Elementary. I think that woman does a brilliant job with that show.
Okay, Abbott Elementary is on the list.
Okay.
As is Barry, which you are watching right now.
Very, very good. I love
The Bear, which I'm trying to convince you to watch, is on there.
Catherine tells me I'd hate it.
Man.
You know, to be honest, I've watched probably 7 episodes of the first season. I think you'd hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Would I like it?
Yeah, I bet you would, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of shot. It's a little gritty. It moves. It's got some good, but I think you would watch it.
So good. It's so good. And
Don't make a
season 2
fist at
is
me.
better than season 1. That's the crazy thing.
You son of a.
Ugh, whatever. Okay, so The Bear's on that list. I'm done with recommending shows for you because you watch 5 minutes and then you're like, I hated it. It was the worst show I've ever seen.
It's like working with people. Same thing. 5 minutes. I hate that sumbitch. Okay, so what's next?
Here's another show we talked about a lot. I know you watched a few episodes. Jury Duty. It made it into Outstanding Comedy Series, which is unbelievable. It made it into this category.
Hated it.
Oh God.
I don't think it's funny in the least.
Oh, I loved it. It was
lot
a
of
very
most people
original
do.
idea. It was an original idea, and I think that's what made it stand out. And I think James Marsden, who also got nominated for supporting actor, I think that was kind of a fun because he's playing a heightened version of himself.
Right.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, one of the best shows that's been on the last decade.
Catherine loves that show.
Yep. Only Murders in the Building.
Didn't care for that either.
Fantastic. And we've got the next season 3 is coming out in early August, so we'll have some good, fresh content coming our way.
Okay.
Ted Lasso, which I know you hate.
I don't like comedy on TV right now other than Abbott Elementary and a couple other things.
And Wednesday is the other series.
I liked Wednesday. I thought that was... She's a terrific talent. What's her
Jenna
name?
Ortega got nominated,
What's
too.
her name?
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. She's really good.
So good.
She's a spicy little Gen Z. I love her.
I do.
What I love about Gen Z is they just speak their mind. They don't care what anyone else thinks, and it's refreshing. At least from my perspective as an entertainment reporter, because if I interview them, I'm not going to get the canned responses I get from very seasoned actors.
You know, I just learned something by listening to you guys talk here that I didn't realize. That you just named 3 shows with the understanding that I'm married to Kristyn Burtt. What do all 3 shows that I like have in common? The women are very strong, powerful, smart asses. Do you think that's why I like them? Because they remind me of Kristyn?
Yeah, well, maybe that's I'm only gonna recommend to you moving forward.
Like tough women who are funny.
Yep, badass women.
Badass women. I do. I think, to tell you the truth, you go back throughout history, Joan Rivers, and I mean, all the way back, I have always loved tough female comics. I mean, you've been in the comedy business for a long time yourself. Don't you agree that very strong, funny women are really funny?
You should see my collection of Xena Warrior Princess. It is ungoddamn
Well, there
believable.
you
Covers
go,
up my. I celebrate the entire collection.
Is she clever?
No, not really.
I didn't think so.
I watch it more for the fight scenes than anything.
I understand that. But yeah, I mean, those are although Corner Gas going all the way back, that show's not even on the air anymore. I mean, it's on streaming, obviously, but it was a Canadian show called Corner Gas. I thought it was brilliant because the families battled so much with each other, and that's kind of how I grew up. I suppose you like things that you've kind of experienced yourself, maybe. That's what it is.
Maybe.
I mean, could be.
I don't know. I think I'm all over the map. My jam right now is docuseries. I'm really into docuseries because there's so many interesting topics. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. How about if you were not to nominate a drama series, and then I'll tell you what's on the list.
Drama series. Like, what do we got? What do we got to choose from? I can't even think of a drama series. I don't watch a lot of dramas, I don't think.
Yeah.
Succession.
No,
That's
didn't
on the
watch
list.
It. Didn't watch it. I should watch that. What else you got?
See,
look at that. We can't even come up with the names of a doc.
the one that just ended, Better Call Saul. Is that drama or
Better
is that
Call
comedy?
Saul's on that list.
That was a pretty good show. That was a good show.
One of my favorites is on this list,
Last
and that
of Us.
is The White Lotus.
Oh, The White Lotus.
Sure,
Yeah.
That's on the list.
Is Last of Us on there?
Last of Us is, yep.
Okay.
I want to do a show called White Lotus, and the first episode I'm going to show people my wiener.
Oh, that makes
What
it
a
juicier.
brilliant show.
Come
Oh,
on.
Juicier. Don't say juicier after he says wiener.
What the hell's wrong with you, Kristyn? Way to go.
What the hell's wrong with Britt pointing
Well.
it out?
Oh, yeah,
She
I'm the
went right
problem.
there.
You said
She went
penis
right-
and you said juicier, and I'm the problem.
Yes, because all you're thinking about is a juicy wiener now.
Oh, my God. I'm
Jesus.
Hello? I got to go.
Let's get back to throwing up in bowls again. Vomiting in bowls. Let's get back to that.
Juicy wiener.
Okay, so what else we got?
We were just over.
I'm going to end my life. I cannot. I'm going to unalive myself. I cannot.
Okay, so
dying.
the dramas, what do we got? I can't think of a drama that I like. But
Okay,
I
so-
must. There have to be some.
Here's the list, and you can make a decision.
Okay, okay.
Andor, which is Star Wars. You won't watch that.
No.
Better Call Saul. The
Pretty good.
Crown on Netflix.
Didn't watch it.
House of the Dragon.
Never watched it.
Oh, I like that.
What is that?
That's the Game of Thrones prequel.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that stuff.
That's on Max. The Last of Us, which you just mentioned. Succession. The White Lotus. And you've seen part of this, Yellow Jackets.
I hated that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like.
A
I don't like.
lot of
Apparently, the dramas right now, and it's not my cup of tea. I don't know
But you
why.
hate a lot of things on the comedy category, too.
Well, I think Hollywood right now is got their head up their ass. It's just they're trying way too hard. Either they're trying too hard to be funny or trying too hard to be dramatic. Calm down, right?
Kristyn, what would be your pick over those dramas?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, just I think this is going to be Succession's year for sure. That I think that's who I think will win. In my personal opinion, I'm such a White Lotus fan. I love Jennifer Coolidge in the first 2 seasons, so that's just where I like gravitate toward. But I think it's going to be a Succession year.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I hadn't even considered this, even thought of it. But, you know, Catherine's sick right now, so I've been watching a lot of television because I want to be there in case she needs me. But she's, you know, pretty much in bed. She got up a little yesterday, so that was nice. But I still am not watching a lot of television because there's just not a lot that I care for. I just think right now Hollywood's trying way too hard to be either dramatic or funny or whatever, which makes it not very dramatic and not very funny.
Well, we also don't have a lot of new content coming out right now. It's kind of coming in drips and drabs. I mean, there's a new Steven Soderbergh show debuting tonight. If you're a fan of his work, it's called Full Circle. It's on Max, and it's a crime drama that's kind of like all different stories of people within New York City kind of weaving together over this one kidnapping.
I would probably like that.
Could be,
I would
people
probably
might like that. Yeah. Quarterback, I think, is another big entry this week. Netflix, if you're into the docuseries. But we are really going to see a slowdown of the content. And the focus now, which is wild because it hasn't been the focus over the last few years, is going to be film. We've got Mission Impossible this week. Next week, we've got the Oppenheimer and Barbie movie sort of battle at the box office. And that's going to be the core focus of Hollywood because as long as this actor and writer strike is going on, we can't produce content.
Yeah, there you go. So man, that's going to be a tough. Do you think this is going to carry on for a bit?
Yes. I think personally that the actor strike will be resolved much sooner than the writer's strike. Studios have already shown a willingness to come to the table for the actors, which is really makes it look like the writers are less than. And without writers, there is no story. There are no words, which doesn't make any sense. But there's already a federal mediator that is in place trying to work out a deal between the producers and the studios with the actors. But the actors we're going on strike. But I'm guessing, I'm going to think like within 2 weeks, this will probably be wrapped up because, and this is just the big because on this, the asterisk on the whole situation, they want the actors to be able to promote all of the upcoming TV films come late August, early September. Yeah. They don't want, because we're in a media blackout right now. You can't do any interviews to promote any projects. Without the actors to promote them, no one's going to watch them. So it's like this crazy cycle. I think with the writers, they're willing to burn through the content that they all have banked right now. And that's why I don't think they'll go back to the table until September or October.
So what's going to come of all this? And look, you guys told me about Barry, and I really like Barry. There are a couple of other shows you told me about that I've been watching that I do like. But there's not, I don't know. It seems to be a surfeit of entertainment. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and we're going to see it on TV. We're going to see a full fall schedule of unscripted shows, and we won't start seeing fresh content until probably mid to late January. So what would typically be a mid-season replacement show, that will be our regular shows being able to come back. Because you have to understand, even if they end the writer's strike today, we need the writers to get back to work, and it's going to take them a couple of weeks to get back and, map out the storylines and get writing on the episodes. And then you have to bring the actors back to set and, get the crew back to set, because the crew who is not on strike, they're also out of work. So I don't think people always understand the economic ramifications. This is a total tsunami for Los Angeles because already the restaurants have started to feel it. A lot of my beauty team, you know, whether it's my esthetician or my hairdresser, they have already said we're seeing less and less people come in or just wait, you know, an extra few weeks to get their hair done. They feel it too. And that's the tough thing about Los Angeles. We've got two economies. We've got Hollywood and we've got tourism.
Now, Brittany, what about your beauty team?
You know, I gave them the week off. So letting them do a long 4th of July, a very long 4th of July. But I will definitely, when I put money towards them, they got a lot of work to do.
No, it'll happen.
But if anyone wants more information on kind of like why this strike is happening, The New Yorker has an amazing article. I tweeted it out on my Twitter account just about Orange is the New Black, because that was like the very first big streaming show on Netflix that was a success. Yeah. And a lot of the cast, and you'll recognize the names and you'll recognize the characters if you watched it, were working full-time jobs while they were doing this show. Because their salary was so low, and because it was considered new media at the time, it wasn't considered streaming. They couldn't pay their rent living in New York City. They were bartenders. They were temping at offices. And it was embarrassing to be like, you're on one of the most successful shows on TV right now. And someone comes up and they're like, aren't you on Orange is the New Black? And you're serving them a drink.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with waiting tables. There is plenty of honor in that job. But it's weird to be
when you're in
a recognizable face and be serving their food at the same time.
Well, when you're in a situation where your time isn't valued at all, that you have to have 2 jobs, that's the problem we're dealing with.
Yeah, and 2 full-time jobs at that, because you know, living in New York is very expensive. So they were shooting in Queens when that show ran, and they even we just talk about the beauty team. That's what made me think about it. They would be going to like the SAG Awards, and Netflix would give them a very small budget so that they would be paying out of pocket to get their hair and makeup done. And let me tell you, as someone who has covered all the award shows, if you don't have a budget from your media outlet or your network, it is thousands of dollars to get ready for an award show, because you can't just like show up with like your hair flat ironed and throw on some lipstick.
So I have a question for all 3 of you, actually, and our listeners as well. Do you think one of the problems I'm having right now is that movies are so focused on science fiction and all that stuff? I'm not a Transformer kind of guy. I've never cared for that kind of thing.
I'm kind of hoping that Barbie is a situation that turns things around.
Yeah.
It's already tracking to do more money than Mission Impossible. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But last night I went to go buy tickets because I'm going on opening day with a bunch of my friends. And that's what I love about this. It's an event movie, and most of the seats for a 1 p.m. show, by the way, I'm not going at like prime time, 1 p.m. show are sold out already for opening day. So I am hoping that Hollywood has their wheels turning during this writers and actors strike, that let's do some original things. Let's do something different. Let's make movies an event situation where you can get together with your friends. You can dress up. You can, I don't know, splurge and go to the ones that you can dine and have a meal in your movie theater and have fun again at the movies.
I'd like to have fun at the movies.
Hey, speaking of, there is going to be a Barbie movie pop-up closet coming to the Mall of America on Saturday, July 15th. You got to make an appointment to get into this thing.
I'm going today because it's a Nordstrom anniversary sale, but looks like I've got my Saturday full as well.
Absolutely, you do.
So what is it?
My
What
Barbie
is this?
cocktail party tonight.
You have your Barbie cocktail party today?
Yeah, at the World of Barbie, the big house that they built for it.
What are you going to wear?
Maybe this as my Barbie pink.
That's a good one.
As I'm in my closet, maybe this. But I also have some wardrobe arriving today from a PR house.
Yeah, so do I. I got some wardrobe.
Obviously,
arriving.
I do too.
Yeah, no.
It's arriving today, and I'm hoping that there's some Barbie core in there, like some hot pink that I might wear as well.
I wore my era that I did to Taylor Swift was Lover, because I knew I was going to repurpose that for the Barbie movie.
Perfect. You know, things you can wear once or twice is always good.
So now, what's this deal that's coming up?
So it's the Barbie Closet over
Closet.
It's Saturday, July 15th. So they're going to have like all sorts of wardrobe that is from the movie. And they'll also give you a chance to, looks like you get a chance to be styled all your own. And then there's photo ops on top of it. Oh, look at this.
Britt, you're going, right?
Well,
I wanna.
There's a media preview, so we'd be able to get in. They just sent me the email this morning. We'd be able to get in at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11, and then it's open to the public 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, July 15th through Wednesday, July 19th.
You have to go. You need to do it like a whole little social media. Like, I went to the Barbie closet, blah, 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 blah. And then show it to all of us.
Kristyn, like, I still don't get the concept of, like, me getting media. Like, I know you get media, but I don't think I get media. So I think we're on different levels.
You're getting media.
But if I can go to this, that is amazing. Tom, do you want to get styled in Barbie mode?
No.
Oh, my God.
No, I don't.
Oh, come on.
You could have Kenergy. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. He needs Kenergy.
What's Kenergy?
Ken has Kenergy.
Oh.
You know Ken doll?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
my
Oh,
God.
the Ken doll with the Barbie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is.
Kenergy.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, and Rudy could be like punk rock Ken. It would be adorable.
Love it.
Aren't these plastic figures we're talking about here?
Yeah. Just like
That's great.
They're
I
coming
know,
to
but
life.
this is going to be so good. I think you do need to bring Tom. I really think
No
we need a bit of
chance.
his snark in the closet.
Nobody snark.
Here's how we would do it. Okay, this probably won't happen because
Snark.
it's too short of timing. But there's a secret to getting Tom to go to anything silly like this. We just invite his grandkids.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole
And
different
then we
deal.
have him,
Yep.
but the timeline's too short to be like, Alex, Vaughn needs to go to this. I'll
Fawn needs to go to this.
But that's the only way you get Tom to go to something this silly.
Oh my God.
You know, let me give you an example of what life is really all about. So Ethan's now he's about a year and a half old.
Yeah.
Right? Andy's kid, Andy and Melissa. So I was on the phone with Andy, and apparently Ethan could hear me talking to Andy. So he came over by the phone, and I went, Ethan, I love you. And there was a pause, and he goes, bop, bop.
He's not ready to commit to saying I love you.
No, exactly.
But he will
right.
acknowledge you as a person, which is pretty huge as a 1.5-year-old.
I guess you're a human. I just love that part of life so much I can't even tell you. So what is it called again? Barbie's butt? What is it?
Barbie's butt.
You can walk into Barbie's butt with a photo op.
There you go. Well, so what
It's
is it?
a pop-up shop for Barbie styling. Is that the Rotunda or is it just...
It says Mall of America, but I would imagine Rotunda, yeah.
Well, what do you mean Barbie styling? What does that mean?
So like Barbie core is like leaning into Barbie, you know, the pink, the
Yeah.
iconic black and white stripes, the just the over-the-top Barbie look. And it's using those colors and creating an outfit for
So
it.
you're going to go to the Mall of America to go look at clothing.
I mean, that's like 99% of people that go to Mall of America.
The best.
Activation, and then you get social media photos, and it gets people hyped for the movie. The marketing machine behind Barbie is absolutely genius. I would love to know what that budget is, because it is unbelievable what they're doing across the nation, not just here in Los Angeles, in anticipation of this film.
Barbie was one of the first plastic dolls, was she not?
Yeah.
I think.
So I just read a whole article about it and how before the lady who created her name was Ruth. She actually had a daughter, and the big thing was baby dolls. Everyone had baby dolls.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then there was in Europe a doll that was named like Millie or Millicent, or that's Barbie's middle name. There was a doll that was human-esque, and they had paper dolls as well. So this lady, Ruth, who worked in plastics with her husband, was like, I want to create a doll. And at that time, they had started Milton, or what is the Mattel. They had started Mattel.
Oh, okay.
And they actually argued with her, saying, we can't have a human doll for kids, like an adult woman doll for kids. And she's like, I want this.
Why not?
Well, they just thought it was a bad idea because it never existed. And she's the type of person, because later in her life, she created more things that like the market was lacking. So she was like, I really want to create this doll because I can see my little girl playing with paper dolls, and I would love to create a human one, an adult woman one that she can put clothes on. So they originally made one blonde and one brunette, and people were obsessed with them. And then they were selling out on the blonde constantly, so they just committed. Like, Barbie is a blonde, and it was the first one that came out with, it was a teen model, and she wore the swimming suit with the black and white stripes on it.
Okay.
And it was just huge. And from then on, I mean, it's just, there's so much more. But this lady, Ruth, she named it after her daughter, who is Barbara. Mm-hmm. And then they had a son, and they named the boy doll Ken, because the son was named Ken.
And this in the 50s or something?
This was,
60s.
yes.
The 60s?
60s.
And Barbara, the daughter, is still alive. And she actually went to the
Margot Robbie?
What's that? No.
Oh, the Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Yeah, Hollywood Walk of Fame same star. And they put little Barbie footprints and handprints.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
At the Chinese theater.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's different from the Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's so cute.
I
I'll have to
know.
go down and see it. You know, I'll go down and I'll photograph it for everyone.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, and then this Ruth who created this, she'd worked in plastics and she was obsessed with like filling whatever she sees a void in the market, and she actually got breast cancer, and so later in her life had noticed that like she felt like she was lacking, like she completely had both breasts removed, and so she decided to create synthetic breasts for people, which had never existed in the market as well. So this Ruth was just an innovator. She had done so much, including creating Barbie and, synthetic breasts.
You just reminded me of one of the horror moments of my... No, actually, it was funny at the time because I must have been about 10 or 11 or something like that. And I do remember one of my friends who was a bit younger. He's probably 9, something like that. His sister got a Barbie. What's the first thing he did?
Cut her hair.
Nope, lifted up her shirt.
Oh,
you could see her breasts.
yeah.
He actually lifted up the shirt of a doll.
I bet
It's like, what?
I bet you there was that before the internet came, that was like 99% of how boys and girls first saw boobs.
Yeah, probably.
Or the Victoria's Secret catalog.
Yeah, the Sears catalog. That's where we.
That's right.
Yeah,
The
in a
underwear
pinch.
section.
In a pinch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, since we're talking about toys, do you guys know Grant from My Talk?
Yeah, of
I
course.
just talked to him yesterday.
His grandfather created the Tonka truck.
Isn't that crazy?
What an insane story. I can't believe they haven't made that into a movie yet.
Yes.
Because his grandfather was working for a company and he created the Tonka truck, and he wanted to work with an Asian business. I don't know if it was somebody that was from China, but I know for a fact that the people he was working with were Chinese. And the head of the company said, I refuse to work with anybody who's not white. So his grandfather took the idea from Tonka and then sold everything and then built a golf course and was like, I can't work with racists. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy
what
story.
happened?
Grant has
Yes.
a crazy backstory.
So
What
crazy
the hell?
backstory. He's such a mild guy, but he has this crazy story. I used to ask, we should actually have him on the show one day to tell that story about the Tonka truck.
Yes. He's such a cool kid.
Yeah.
I talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact, because I was over at Hubbard. He is a huge fan of this show.
He literally,
Huge.
because I was on their show after,
yeah,
and I'll be
right,
on their
exactly.
show today.
Right.
He will literally be like, yeah, the thing you said this morning, and I'm like, how you just listen
great.
to everything.
He's a great guy.
He loves you.
Matter of
It's
fact,
so annoying.
That's a good friend.
Oh,
that
so he
listens.
loves me, so that's annoying. Okay.
I can't talk slander about you in that building. It's so annoying.
No, I will tell you, Grant and I talked about him coming on the show because what a nice young man.
Yeah.
Just a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because he likes the show. I don't mean that. He's just a very pleasant guy. But, Tonka, of course, named after Minnetonka, Minnesota, Tonka trucks. But I didn't know there was all this I won't work with non-white people thing.
Yeah.
I never heard of that
Yeah,
before.
that's why he sold it all and then built a golf course with the money.
What golf course?
It was out in, oh man, I think his parents lived on it and then sold it, but I think it's not too far from you guys, so like Eden Prairie, Chaska area. It's out that way. I'd have to find out. But
Is it Bear Path? No, that's not it.
no, Grant would definitely not be working in radio if it was Bear Path.
They sold it. Yeah, they sold the golf course. And I even asked him, because his dream was to be in radio.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I even
right.
asked him, I go, do you wish they didn't sell it? He goes, no, the obligation I had to work, because he's just one of those guys that would have kept doing it.
Yes.
He's like, the obligation I would have had to keep that going would have been taken over. He's like, I've always wanted to be in radio. So he's like living his dream life. And I'm always like, you are the most golden retriever human I've ever met.
Yeah.
He's so lovely.
And Kristyn, I know you got to go, but I will close with this because I've already heard this from Brittany and Rudy this morning. Said, Tom, when you were over at Hubbard yesterday, did you notice they're nowhere near as big as the assholes in the other place? And I said, yeah, I did notice that.
I didn't say it, but I think it.
Every single time.
All right, young lady, another brilliant report, I thought.
Well, thank you. And I just want to leave Britt with one thought. The Emmy-nominated Vanderpump Rules.
I know.
God,
If that
here
doesn't
we
win,
go.
what is even real? But I guess, whatever. And also, Kristyn, happy Nordstrom anniversary day to you.
Thank you so much. Maybe I will buy some Barbiecore if my wardrobe doesn't work out for tonight.
All right, both of you go away.
Done.
See you later, Kristyn. Thank you. Kristyn Burtt. I'm telling you, I know I say it a lot, but it's true. I love working with her. She's got so much energy. But I mean, it's not that over the top, the yelling energy, working the mic too close energy, that kind of stuff. She's just really, she's really good. Don't you think?
She is a combo of entertainment host / nerd that I love so much. She is such a nerd through and through, and I love it. Like, she knows all the things and is very excited. She always wants to know more information. She's just like gobbles up info.
God, I'm really glad you brought that, because I had no idea that's how Tonka came to be and then found its end.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah.
So who said they don't want to work with non-honkies?
It was, so Grant's grandfather worked for the company, and I don't remember which company it was, but basically when he was like, hey, I have this thing, and I think we could really like make some headway if we brought this certain company in to work with us. The head of the company was like, absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
So Minnesotans are extremely racist. That's what you're saying?
I don't know if I'm saying that.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're getting to?
I don't know if I'm saying that, but, we do have to take a break. We'll be right back a couple of seconds with a man who should be a Ken doll, and he kind of is.
Yeah, yes.
Don't you think Chris Egert's kind of a Ken doll?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. We'll be right back. Chris Egert. What's his name? Egert?
Egert.
Egert. Something. Chris will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Mike has an amazing offer for my listeners on his Giza Elegance My Pillows. You'll receive a Giza Elegance My Pillow for as low as $19.98. Regular price is $69.98. This My Pillow comes in 4 levels of support. You'll also receive deep discounts on all My Pillow products such as My Pillow towels, mattress toppers, My Slippers, and so much more. Go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio podcast square to receive Mike's amazing offer on the Giza Elegance My Pillow for as low as $19.98 and use promo code TOM. This offer comes with a 10-year warranty, so you know it's going to last, a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. It's time to start getting the quality sleep we not only want, but need. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his Giza Elegance My Pillow. That's MyPillow.com, promo code TOM. There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a 6-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. I would like to announce, ladies and gentlemen, that every day at this time, we walk down the highway to hell, which leads to an interview with Chris Egert.
That's fair.
You think it's a good thing that talking to you is like the highway to hell?
I mean, my wife would agree with that.
Well, I think Catherine's shoulder to shoulder when it comes to you and me. That's all we have to say. You're my wife, your wife. Oh, that's great, Tom. It's great living with you. You know.
Chris, I sat next to one of the Twin Cities Live employees yesterday at Into the Woods. His name was Bill. No?
Oh, very familiar.
Twin Cities Live or Minnesota Live?
I mean, Minnesota Live. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, our photographer, Bill Middeke.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. Where did you sit? Where did you sit next to him?
At the Guthrie. We're all at Into the Woods. And he
What
was.
are you doing? Why are you playing with that on your microphone?
Oh, I just was touching this felt thing.
Show the people what you're playing with.
This is what Fawn gave me. I just sometimes
You're such
fidget.
a child.
I'm such a fidgeter sometimes. I just touch things.
She's talking to you. She's going like.
But yeah, he was on board. He talked a lot of shit about you. It was pretty funny.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
That's
I would
nice.
expect nothing else. I love Bill. He's a fun guy.
Bill Middeke is his name?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Maybe have I met Bill? Rob, I think so. I'm not sure though.
I'm not sure. I know the day we came and shot that story with you, Tom, that was a different photographer.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. That was Kevin, but yeah, Bill's a good dude. Well, did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh.
We have such talent. Me and Tom were just talking about it. We have so much talent in this city, and it's the Guthrie. Their theaters, they always do it such a way that there's no bad seat in the house. Everything's so close,
right.
And you're like almost embarrassed because they're belting and they're so talented, and you're like 4 feet from them, and you just want to be like, "Can I clap now? You're so good. Like you're so good." And
Is there still a restaurant over there, right by it?
there's a bunch of restaurants right by it, but I
not-
don't think they serve food in the Guthrie anymore for some reason.
They used to, I know, right?
Yes, they used to.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that is a beautiful building.
It is.
Gorgeous.
We grabbed, since I had done the evening show, I grabbed crisp and greens over in Dinkytown, and then we just ate in the park right next to the Guthrie before
Hey,
it.
what's that? I've never heard of it. Thank you very much. Great to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Just had Josh on the show yesterday. He's going to be coming in. Matter of fact, Josh Arnold on the family show. Well, he's going to take over Fridays for us. We're going to talk Andy and Josh and me and a couple other people. Terrific job. So, yeah, you're brought to us by Josh Arnold, and now Chris Egert's here. Didn't watch the news this morning. I usually get up and watch the news early, but I didn't watch it this morning because I went out for a walk instead because it was rather pleasant.
Good.
So what's the latest?
There's a big traffic thing this morning that sounds like it's clearing up. Interstate 94 coming over from Hudson as you cross the river there to Afton was at a standstill for like
Really?
2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, that'd be rough.
Think of that road and how busy that is. There's road construction that's been going on there for several months, so it's already squeezed way down, so it's already super slow.
Sure.
I mean, we were watching it from, I can't remember when it happened. It felt like it was before 6 o'clock this morning. And I think it just reopened a short time ago, but it was like parking lot. Like people were getting out of their vehicles and standing on the side of the road. It was bad.
That is so rough.
Semi-truck rolled over. The driver sounds like he's okay. Might have to go to the hospital, but non-life-threatening injuries. So I think that just opened up. So that's good for,
Right.
all the commuters. Bad deal.
Not necessarily good. There's no question about it.
It was so bad that all the other people were like trying to skirt around and go through Stillwater to get away from it. And then that got all backed up, and it was not a lot of ways to cross the river. You know what I mean?
No.
So, Stillwater, isn't that where somebody's got a boat there that if your wife isn't sick, you could go on? I think it's called Mimi or something like that. I'm not really certain about that, but
I've never been on Mimi.
I haven't either.
Okay.
Brittany has. Rudy has.
I've been on the Mimi.
God.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I was on Mimi once in 11th grade. Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Ew.
Anyway.
Chris, why haven't you been on it?
I don't know.
Shut up. You know you've been invited.
I've only been anchoring the #1 morning show in the Twin Cities for 8 or 9 years now.
I love that.
If I would have had a +4, you might have made my list.
Thank you. I'm sure the invite was lost
in the email.
Post office these
Mine too.
days.
No, I was supposed to be there, but Catherine was ill, and I do not leave my wife alone when she's sick. So I didn't go.
That was nice of you.
Well, it's not nice of me. It's a job you're supposed to do, aren't you?
I would have left
Well, that's
Justin.
true.
I would
Oh,
have left.
that's nice. That's really nice. Justin, you ain't here vomiting. I'm going to be on a yacht.
I would expect him to do the same. His medical professionalism is lacking, so I'd have been like,
well.
but I see hashtag goals with you and Catherine, but yeah, it was pretty fly. It was
Pretty. She said fly 3 times now this morning. When's it going to stop?
no wait. What did I say today? That
You said fly earlier.
no, we were talking about Tony Fly.
No, but you said fly too. It's so fly. You said that
Fly.net?
earlier. I don't know. You're a hippie. God, I haven't heard that word in years.
No?
A hippie.
Well, Chris, I'll try to get you on the Mimi one of these days.
Well,
we'll
maybe
bust our
maybe
ass.
maybe the vehicle in which I get to the Mimi is this podcast.
You know, one of the problems I have with that, though, if I ever do go on the Mimi, which is it's owned by the Hubbard family, I should mention that, by the way, but they apparently let Bilski into the steering room or whatever. What's that called? What's the room called on a boat where you,
I don't know,
where
but
you run the boat?
He probably told me, and he'll probably email me all mad because I'll say it wrong. Bilski was trying to teach me boat terms on the boat. The storage? Nope.
Storage?
The port? That's the left
Port.
side.
Oh, you mean port and starboard and port?
But there's a term for the front of the boat.
Oh, for the front of the boat. I don't know the term for the front of the boat. I have no idea.
Bilski does.
I know port and starboard, but I don't know. It's not forward and rear.
No, it would be obvious. Like that's what I think they should do.
Did you see the look? She's like this. Yeah, they'd be obvious.
No, I meant like
She gave me this look. Did you see the look, Chris?
I meant like they should name it obvious things. Like I'm annoyed at the namers for being so pretentious. Like what can't we call it? Left, right, front, back.
The bow is the front of the boat.
Oh, the bow is the
there
front.
you
There you
go.
go.
The transom is the back of the boat.
No, it's
Really?
It's not.
Uh-huh.
You'd make that up?
That's the actual the piece of boat that separates the back of the boat and the water. I believe that's called the transom.
Maybe this is. Maybe this is why people don't invite you to boats because you show up and say all those things.
No, it's only because every boat I've ever bought is a total piece of shit, and so the transom is always the part that's like falling apart or something. So it's like I'm
You know
very
what?
keyed in on the transom.
And Brittany will tell you this is a fact, that this is the truth, that we don't anymore, but I used to own this really big pontoon boat.
It was insane.
When we lived in Golden Valley. It was on a very small lake, but it was a very big boat.
Didn't it have 2 engines?
Yes.
Like 2 giant motors.
700 horsepower.
I guess
Nice.
And I think the lake was about a quarter mile long.
So it was Dan from Southside Marina had set it up, and we'd gone on your boat.
Yes, that's correct.
And he was like, "All right, you guys want to feel the power on this thing?" We're like, "Yeah." So all of a sudden he starts it up, and it's like, start stop. Because the lake wasn't big enough to handle how insane this boat was.
Oh, for sure. A
We're
boat
like,
that big? That's
yeah.
crazy.
We got across that lake in about a half second. We're all like, all right, should we just do a quick
Go
lap?
in. I should mention that I never did get to drive the boat, by the way, because
What?
Catherine would not let me drive the boat.
That checks
Really?
out.
She said, no way you're driving this boat. Not a chance. So I never did get behind the wheel of it. What
That
are you
sucked.
going to do?
Transom sounds like an adjective for a good-looking guy who used to be a lady.
Yeah, a transgender handsome fella.
very transom.
He's transom.
Look at Brittany's face. I knew she was
think
gonna.
that's true.
I think we should start
I
using
think it's
it.
good.
That joke deserves better from you two. I'll tell you that right now, Chris and
I
Brittany.
know, I'm still debating.
I'm laughing.
Tom agrees. Transom is a good adjective.
And you know what else? Milk is homogenized.
That's right.
It says HOMO right at the beginning. Good
Listen,
God.
Tom, I don't know how much you know Rudy needs your approval, but last
Oh,
night
yeah.
he texted Brittany and I, and he said, I don't care what Tom says, Egert is a funny joke.
It's a funny joke.
Yesterday he referred to me as
The girth.
Egert.
But you don't have a lot of girth. That's the problem.
Why do you know?
Look at Chris's face.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking. You talking about dinks again?
Yes.
I was just talking about his whole body in girth, not the wiener. God, you had wiener on your mind all morning. What's the matter with you?
First off, I haven't said wiener unless I'm repeating after you.
You said girth.
That was Rudy talking about proud of his girth joke.
Oh, okay.
He's got wiener on the brain.
Okay. Boy, look at the time. We'd love to schmooze.
Yeah.
Wiener
You know
on
what's
the
stuck in
brain.
my head the rest of the day now because of you? Garth Kemp. Remember Garth? Do you ever work with Garth? Oh, Garth was at KQRS doing the afternoon show, and then he left to do, he did weather in Los Angeles. He was a weatherman on TV. I mean, he still might be. I don't know if he is or not. But Garth was a great guy to work with. But so now because of it's stuck in my head the rest of the day. His name is now Girth Kemp.
Yeah, once you get Girth stuck in your head, there's only one solution.
Oh, God.
Was he a voiceover guy? Oh, it must be. This is the guy. Yeah, because it says VO and then LA Weatherman.
Yep.
Oh.
That's Garth, yep.
When you said Garth Kemp, I imagined like a guy with a receding hairline and kind of, kind of a schlubby dude.
Kind of Garthy.
But not this guy. This guy looks like he could be a villain from Cobra Kai.
Yes, absolutely.
Got a chiseled jawline. Looks like he could kick some ass.
No, he couldn't.
Is Garth short for something, Tom? Or does
No, I think Garth, Garth, is a name.
So you see this beautiful baby and you look at it and you go, Garth.
Garth. Garth. That's really nice.
That's exactly how I
vomited when I first saw you, so your name is Garth. Jesus, that's really sweet.
I'm laughing too hard. I can't be on
my
air.
God.
That's so funny.
That's terrible.
Garth.
See what I have to put up with all day, Chris. You see what I have to put up with?
I'm sorry, Tom. That's a lot.
Total disaster. Why were you named? Is your name Christopher?
Yeah, I think I was named Christopher because my mom and dad were unimaginative. Because I grew up in like Podunk with 4 other dudes, like with 4 other guys named Chris, and there were like 30 people in my high school, and there were like 10 different Chris's. So I'm not very happy with them about how their imagination that they use with my name.
Well, Chris is a good name, though. Is it a Jesus name? Is Christopher? Is that a Jesus reference?
I don't think so
like
in this
Christ
case.
Or something. Well, in your case, definitely not.
No, I was supposed to be named Augustus. Funny you should ask.
That's funny you say that because if I had a boy, I would have named him Gus.
Gus, don't you?
Just Gus, like not anything else. It would just be Gus.
I think it would have just been Gus, which
love that
also
for you.
short. I think most people would assume it would be short for Augustus, but I would have just gone Gus.
I got some good news for you. Never had a boy.
No.
I had 2 relatives named Gus. August was their name.
Mm-hmm.
They were both murdered.
Oh God.
So it's a good thing.
What a twist.
Yeah, one of them was had both his arms, both his legs broken, stuffed in a snowbank in Anoka, where he froze to death. And then the other, younger August, was thrown off a building in downtown Minneapolis, fell to his death. Well, he didn't fall to his death; he was thrown off the building. So you're lucky you didn't name him Gus.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous name.
I'll name him after a different month.
Yeah.
Call him Julie.
Yeah.
I knew a Julie once. A nice Jewish boy's name was Julie.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
I wanted to name Go-Go May because she was born in May, and Justin would not let me.
So Go-Go's better?
Margot is better, yeah.
Margot is a good game.
Yeah.
It is a good name.
He made the right choice, but I was like, it's so, like, did you say meh?
Meh.
No, go ahead. I go ahead.
But otherwise, because she was right at the end of May, so I either wanted to do May or June, depending on when she was born. And Justin was like, that's terrible. I hate it.
One of my favorite things about naming babies is, do you have any Greek friends?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed when they name babies, the letters are about 75, 80 letters long?
Yeah.
Kristala Lakabaluk. Yeah, okay, I got it.
Got it.
I understand he's Greek. I get it. There's no question about it. Well, Kostaki Economopoulos.
I know.
You know, Kostaki's a great. I miss Kostaki. Where the hell is he?
Every time you say his name, I always wonder, do you have a mini panic attack? Because I am so nervous. And he's lovely. I've met him a million times.
Wonderful guy.
Every time I'm supposed to say his name, I'm always like, is this the right way to say it?
Instead of Kostaki or Economopoulos?
Why are you acting like saying Econopolis is a normal thing?
See, she said it wrong. I told you.
I know. That's what I want to convey is like, I will never say Kostaki's last name out of pure fear.
I understand that. Call him Sponge Diver.
That's usually a good one.
A lot of Greeks in Tampa used to be sponge diver. Well, actually, it was what was it? It was just outside of Tampa, the big sponge diving bay in Florida.
Is that St. Pete or?
That's that area, yeah. But
no, I know where you're talking about because I have a friend who's Greek and he's from that area.
Yep. God, what the hell's the name of that town?
It's
Is it something Bay?
Yeah, Because I went to a Greek wedding over there.
Yeah,
It
yep.
was like the coolest thing.
Oh, you've never been to a Greek wedding? Get off your ass and get Greek friends because Greek weddings
Greek
are
weddings
phenomenal.
fun.
That sounds amazing.
Fantastic.
I saw Full House when John Stamos went to that Greek wedding. I was
Opa!
like, I am done with regular old stupid Christian weddings. You bring me to a Greek wedding anytime.
They are fun.
Yeah.
There are a lot, and there's a lot of Opa. That's the cheer. Instead of cheers, it's Opa.
And like, is anything really all that much better than just Greek food? It's
I love Greek
so good.
Freaking good.
Well, they shut down my Greek restaurant. Pissed me off.
Which one?
Down on Lake Street.
It's Greek to me.
It's Greek to me.
Yeah, that's what I
They
was
closed it. Pissed me off. I love that place.
I used to go to that place a lot because it's a transfer that I used to take on a bus, and so
Oh,
if
sure,
I was
yeah.
waiting, I'd
Is
go
it
quickly.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago and Lake, I think?
I think so.
think
But I'd
that's right,
casually go and get a gyro in between buses.
Oh, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I'll go
Still got
Lemino.
Christos though, right? Isn't the Christos on?
Christos is still good.
open?
I think.
I think so.
I hope so. We need
There
Greek
used to be
restaurants.
one out in my neck of the woods, and it turned into something else, which was a bummer. But I thought there was still a Christos on Nicollet.
It became Sydney's, didn't it? I think. I don't remember. Yeah, we need some Greek food. There's no question about it. Greek food is phenomenal.
There's a Mediterranean place I guess it's technically Chanhassen, called Taza, Taza, and it's in Chanhassen. It's so good, Chris. Is that close to you? Is Chanhassen close to you?
My son's eating there. He was telling me about all the sauces once. He was like blathering on and on and on about the sauces.
Oh my God, me and your son
Love
could
it.
hang because I love sauces.
Everybody just shuts up. That was really good.
Love sausage.
It's okay. Let me tell you about Taza. What's nice about it? It's like you get to pick. There's so many options.
Where's Taza?
It's over next to Chanhassen Dinner Theater.
Oh, okay. You said that. I think. You're right.
And there's it's like, in Chipotle where you get to pick all, and really customize what you want. It's like that, but it's like meat and rice, and then the huge salads, and then like all these dipping sauces that are insanely good. And then they pull fries out of, it's Taza, so good.
Did I tell you the show's over today at 9 so we can go get some Greek chow?
Can you tell we're hungry?
Sounds good to me, baby.
What did I say this morning? I said, I got to start eating healthier. I have been making a lot of weird choices. And then now, I'm going to destroy a gyro today.
Oh, God, it's wonderful. All right, so we only got it. My God, that time. We only got like 3 minutes left with you. What the hell?
Time flies when you're talking about gyros, Tom. You know the saying.
Yes, that's what it is.
One thing I was going to let everybody know, the State Patrol is out in the Twin Cities area on a secret bus trying to catch people doing dumb things on their
I
phones.
saw that.
Which, it's too bad this only happens, I don't know, they've done it maybe once a year or something. They get the setup. The thing travels around the country, but basically they have a bus and they're all sitting on there and they're looking at people down into their cars on their freaking phones and like stopping them, which, I mean, you guys remember think of the last time you sit at a stoplight, there's like 5 people around you. It's like everyone's looking at their freaking phone. So anyway, they're out there doing that, a big enforcement right now. So you've been warned.
I liked the guy who was on Channel 5 last night talking about the copper that was talking about it. That was very cool, I thought.
I mean, people watching a freaking movie driving down the road.
I know. What the hell's wrong with you?
It's so bad. I'm like, it pisses me off beyond. I'm not going to say it. Forget it.
When are you coming in the studio again?
I would like to.
When's Hannah coming back?
I don't know when we're on a break again here because obviously I can't get over there because we've got the show on at 9.
Blow it off.
Well, I did blow it off like for the last 5 days.
Yes, you did. I forgot. Never mind.
The same day I blew your guys' show off.
But you're consistently inconsistent.
God, I was like, oh my God. I looked down at my phone. I felt like such a dolt. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, it's home. It is what it is.
And nobody won the lottery. So there's also
again?
That.
What is it, over $1 billion now then, I would assume?
It's not, but it's getting close. I think the Powerball is like, it's getting close to like 875 million.
Oh, man. What would you do with that kind of dough?
Buy lots of hookers.
Well, There's some news reporting right there, ladies and gentlemen.
But just to talk to, right?
Yeah.
You would for sure.
Yeah.
You just need
To
companionship.
help them, to take them off the street.
Oh, that's really good.
I will show you how lame I am as a human being, as a man in America. I've never been with a hooker in my life.
I feel like
Never.
I wouldn't know the first thing to
I
do.
wouldn't either. It's like, how do you even do that?
I would be so awkward. It's
I
like,
know. Should I take my pants off now or what?
The last time I went to a gentleman's club in Las Vegas,
Oh, God.
I went with somebody, and this girl came over and started talking to me as they do, and I was sitting there the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, this poor girl. Where is she from?
I know.
What happened to her? And then she's like, I'm from Omaha, and my wife's from Omaha. And I'm like, oh, you poor thing. And I was like, and like I had to get up and leave. I'm such a dork. I like could not handle it.
I know.
Anyway.
It's just not our world, apparently. It's a whole different world.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's fun.
I went up on a golfing trip with a bunch of friends in northwest Wisconsin, and there was this strip club in an old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. And they say, hey, we got to run out to the farm. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, we get to the farm, and I find out it's a strip club. So I'm in there sitting with these guys. You go to strip clubs. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it's just not for me. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't judge you. You want to do that, good for you. Well, I'm happy for you. But I got thrown out because that's not my deal. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this person puts their hand on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's a 100% naked woman. And I overreacted, and I didn't mean to be mean to her. And I just said to her, would you get your damn hand off me? And they threw me out, and I had to sit in the car for like 3 hours because it was in the middle of nowhere. I will never forget that.
That is so relatable. Like, I feel like that is...
Like, I didn't mean to be mean to her. I was just shocked that you know.
When I was in the military, we used to go with the guy, because I was with an infantry unit, and so I'd always get pressured into going, and they'd always be like...
Sure.
Buy Hagen, that was my last name at the time, buy Hagen a dance, buy Hagen a dance. And every time they'd buy me a dance, I'd just be like, please don't do this. Like, I don't want this. You don't want this. Like, I don't, like,
Although I will tell you, it was very, very clever. I don't know if it's even still there or not, but over in St. Paul, there was a strip club, called the Pain Reliever.
Oh.
On Payne Avenue. Get it? The Pain Reliever. Get it?
I love it.
How did they spell Payne?
What's on Payne Avenue?
Yeah.
Payne, yeah. But, there's so many that we're going to have to talk strip club stories sometime. Because the only time I was ever in a strip club before that is because all my friends I used to work out with, of all of them, about a third of them were guards or, the muscle at strip clubs to keep guys from abusing the women. So I would go over there and pick them up and go to dinner with them. So that's, at one point, I guess I ended up going to strip clubs a lot, but never in the inside, just out the back door.
Right.
Whoops, I shouldn't have said strip club and back door in the same sentence.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I know you were. I saw the look on your face, but All right,
guys, gotta
Palomino.
go.
Oh, pardon me, big shot.
I like your story, Tom, but I got to go. I'll get in trouble.
We'll talk to you
See you,
later.
bud.
I'm never going to get on the Mimi if I'm not there from the start.
That's true.
Right, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. I love working with Chris Egert, as you know. I seriously, I don't mean to insult anybody. It's just not for me, and I don't even know why. I mean, I love beautiful women, and naked women are gorgeous, and all the rest of it. So I'm not judging you if you like it. I could see why you would like it. It just I never got involved in it. I don't know why.
That's okay. I feel like you don't like insincerity. Like, you can tell when I'm like being nice to you because I want money.
Well,
and
there
you don't
is
love
that. There is that.
When
That's
I come
a
in,
typical deal.
I give you a bunch of compliments, and then I'm like, also, can I borrow $10? I forgot my wallet.
Hey, nice shirt. Where's a 20? Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
So I
thank
can't
you.
imagine you paying for someone to be nice to you like
yeah,
that.
except that's exactly. You know what? I'm glad you said that because I am not going to pay anybody to be nice to me.
No,
It ain't
that's
gonna
not
happen.
you at all.
That's not what I'm doing. We have to take a break, though. I do know that.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back. We got some other hun yucks coming up. I don't even know who these people are anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made.
We are back with the Tom Barnard Morning Show, and we have special guests, Steve and Kenny, with us. Welcome to the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Kevin.
Good morning.
Steve and Kenny. Hey, Kenny, how you doing, Kenny?
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Steve.
I'm sorry.
Kenny here.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Kevin.
So let me jump in
I
here.
just got excited.
I said, let me jump in here.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, so I was down peeing. Sorry, Steve and Kevin, but I had to run down the hall and pee. And it was a huge mistake because I got back. So, look, Sticks and Kiwi, how's it going? Everything? No, you know what? I used to do a show across the street for 37 years. You guys have been on the show a billion times.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I miss talking to you guys so much, Steve Lemme and Kevin Heffernan. Tacoma FD, one of the best damn shows ever on television. It's about cops, which we've talked about that before. I love cops anyway. But I love cops that are like you guys. That's all I have to say. Firefighters, cops, whatever you do. Mostly about firefighting.
Guys with mustaches.
Yeah, guys with mustaches. Yeah, that's
exactly.
So Tacoma Fire Department, Tacoma. And by the way, either one of you can tell me this because I've asked them this a million times. The answer to why it's in Tacoma is now remember, it's a fire department.
Yeah.
So you have to remember. So I said, why is it in Tacoma? And you guys can answer that question.
Well, we did a movie called Super Troopers, and the kind of premise of it was we're on this deserted stretch of highway, and so cops had a chance to have fun. And we were making the show. We were trying to decide how to create a situation where these firefighters had some downtime to have fun. So we said, let's put it in the rainiest city in the country so there are fewer fires to fight, right?
That sounds like my kind of job. I mean, you can tell.
There you go.
I just love that story. That is, you know what, you guys, as you know, I've been a fan of the show from day one. It's very, very funny. You guys work together so damn well. I love it when you lose the name tag on your shirt, so it just says penis on it, which I think is, Panisi. What happened to Panisi? Well, he's penis now. But other than that, that was a great, great episode. I love that episode.
Thank you. Well, it's funny because, the name Panisi is a real name. My sister used to date a guy named Vinny Panisi. And spelled it exactly that way, penis with an I. And when we pitched the TV show, we actually busted out my high school yearbook and would show the people we were pitching just to let them know we weren't being completely immature. Actually, there was a real guy named Panisi. And so, because, everyone's like, oh, they just do dick jokes. But no, this is a real person's name.
But I got to be honest with you, I grew up a nice Catholic boy, so I knew Panisi was a real name, so it was even funnier for me.
But it is funny because I'm still amazed. It's, we've done 3 seasons now, and there are still some people who who didn't figure it out in the first 2 seasons.
Really?
They'll be like, oh, my God. Yeah, it's just staring at them in the face, the word Panisi. And they're like, do you know that your name has penis in it? And I'm like, really? Yeah, I know.
I never knew that. What are you talking?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, I'm so embarrassed.
You guys do such a great job writing that show, the acting. And by the way, I'm looking at fans can expect guest appearances by Tony Danza, David Arquette, along with others from the upcoming season. All the big shots are showing up now, which they should.
Well, it's nice. Now people, have found the show and they're fans of it, and it's much easier. You put a phone call out, and you can get a guy like Tony Danza to show up. And we were so excited. I mean, we've been Tony Danza fans. We watched Taxi growing up, and to have the guy come on and be on the show and to work with him, it was just a blast.
Oh God, yeah. Seriously, and by the way, we've talked. Steve and Kevin and I have talked many, many times about the show. I have loved it since. Well, I've always loved everything you guys have been. How long have you guys been together now? I mean, preceding the show and all the rest. It's been a while.
Yeah, Kevin and I met in college.
God, really?
Back in the 90s. So, it's been, I'm going to say it's been 30 long years.
Well, it's just the way it is. So, what can we expect? 4th season premiering July 20th. We're just about a week away on TruTV. By the way, I'd like to point this out as well. TruTV does a really good job with comedy, I think.
Yeah, they do a really good job. They've got a lot of different shows, and then also they have kind of like a web of networks. So we're going to be on TruTV, and then they're going to rebroadcast it on TBS, and then ultimately we end up on HBO Max. So nice. It's good because they have a kind of a network of places we can see the show.
God, it's so amazing. They sent the interview descriptor to me, and I was just looking at it. I got to read this paragraph. As you likely know, Kevin and Steve had a theatrical success with Fox Searchlight Super Troopers 2, which doubled box office prediction, has grossed $100 million.
Is that true? What's that?
He's like, I want my cut.
Where's my cut?
We got it.
Are you holding out on me, Lemmy?
Wait, is it Kenny?
I was just going to say, maybe he wrote the check to Kenny. Maybe that's the problem.
It's made up to Kenny Heffernan.
You can't cash it, Kevin. I'm so sorry.
Jeez. Oh, boy.
My mistake. My mistake. I wrote. Yeah, the check is in the mail, Kenny. Don't worry.
Do you guys do any of the shooting in Tacoma itself, or is it all in a remote location?
We shoot in the Valley in Los Angeles.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
close enough.
It's
on the same coast.
Occasionally you'll see a palm tree in there.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask because I'm going to be in Tacoma in October doing shows, and I was wondering if you could give any suggestions on where to go. But if anything, I will find a Tacoma FD somewhere and just take a picture and be like, "Hey, look what I found."
Well, we've been to Tacoma, and we've been to the Tacoma Comedy Club. It's a great club, and actually, it's funny because we were in Tacoma when we came up with the idea that the hook should be the rainiest city in the country. We're like, well, where is that? We're like, well, is it Seattle? Because Seattle gets all the rain love. And then we were like, well, we never like to do anything that's so on the nose. Like we didn't want to be a fire department in a major city. But then we were sitting there, we're like, how about Tacoma? Tacoma FD. We kept saying it, Tacoma FD, Tacoma FD, Tacoma FD, and it rolls off the tongue.
It does.
So we've been to Tacoma. We have been there, and we've hung out with the fire department in Tacoma.
Nice.
Do you guys think you got very, very lucky, or you just did such a good job? That's why you have so many. You have a lot of really good people on that show.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were very lucky. I mean, that cast you put together, we've all become very good friends, and it doesn't really work that way a lot of times. We've done projects in the past where you do your thing and you move on, but. I think there's some good friendships there, and that's a good thing because it comes out on the screen. It's the same way for the Broken Lizard guys. It's like we want to create a world where, it's a bunch of friends hanging out, and you got to really feel like it is a bunch of friends hanging out. And so it's always worked out well for us, I think.
Well, you do a great job of that, and that's one of the reasons I was attracted to the show. Well, look, I followed you guys for long before the show started, but the fact that you guys work together so incredibly well, it's very evident. It comes across the screen. It's very evident you guys do work together really well. You have a great time. You enjoy doing what you're doing. That's a huge part of it for us, man.
Yeah, well, I think, and part of the success of the show is that, like, certainly with Kevin and me, a lot of the plots are born out of our real life disagreements, and observations about each other. For instance, Kevin is not a moisturizer guy and refuses to put moisture on his face or his arms.
What?
Me too.
And I know, and that's the way I feel, is that, like, I am a moisturizer guy. Like, I wear night cream during the day because I'm such a maverick.
Yeah.
And, but that's, we have had, like, in our real lives, we've had real debates about moisturizer. And Kevin's like, I don't like it. It makes me feel oily. And I'm like, that's what I love about it. I like to feel moist.
God. Why can't you guys be on for an hour instead of 10 minutes? This is not fair. It's not fair. So I need you to do me one favor. This is Tom Barnard talking to you. So at the very end, when I go, listen, Stosh and Kenny, you can say, yeah, it's been great, Tim.
Done.
No, you guys need to come back more often. I love talking to you guys. I have my entire damn career over at the other place and now at the new place. I love seeing your name on the docket. Rudy came and said, hey, they're available. I went, oh, God, yes. Absolutely, get them on. So come back very, very soon, will you guys?
Absolutely. Tom, you should just invite us sometime. Invite us on.
Okay, I'll call you after noon today, your time.
You got it.
And sorry, Kevin. I really do love you. I was trying to fix a computer at the same time. I'm sorry. I adore you. I really do adore you both.
Now, were you named after that famous singer, Kevin Rogers?
They just left.
Oh, I knew they had to go.
But anyways, they still get an applause because that was a great interview.
They are so funny.
I knew, but the great part of it is saw us down peeing again. I got to time my peeing better. I don't get back in time now.
It's one of the.
Oh, we got to have the
Hang
mic
on a second, Mike. There we go.
Sorry.
There we go, bud. There we go.
I was just going to say it's one of the hazards of age.
Peeing?
Well, the timing sometimes is a little off.
It's terrible.
It's true. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. But listen, so Mick. Mm-hmm. She's mispronounced everybody's name so far today.
I did one. I wrote down.
Well, that's everybody.
I was trying to get his computer
going.
Yeah,
she's blaming it on me.
Yeah, it's Mike's.
Of course.
Mick.
Because I ran over here, jotted down. I helped. This is an interview, too. I was so excited because they were supposed to be on a couple months ago, right?
They were on a couple months ago.
Yeah, and so they're so great. I jotted it down so quick, and then I was like, am I doing the intro? And I wanted to do it in a way that, like, when you sat down, I just got excitable. But I can do this.
You know what excites me is the fact that the Tony Danza angle, because I think with Tony Danza on the show, that might make my Tony Danza merch more valuable.
Oh, I think so.
Because, I have a mint condition Tony Danza show T-shirt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Well, that's because I would never wear it because I don't want to demean the value.
Sure.
That's true.
Anytime anything you have, any merch from a show that lasted like 6 weeks, that's where the value comes in.
I think, I'm not sure about the name, but there's another person joining us. Is it Judy? Is that your name?
Jude, actually.
Jude.
Very, very close.
You wish.
As in, hey, Jude. Yes,
hey,
thank
Jude.
you very much.
That's our puppy, and he's sick right now, damn it.
Oh,
My wife and my puppy are sick. Damn it.
Hey, Judd's getting a lot of media attention this week.
Would you commit a crime?
No, because he'll tell you about it. Because he's calling for the firing of our friend Rocco.
Oh, he should be fired.
Well, right, yeah.
And so should the general manager.
Yep.
That team has come
well,
apart
that's right.
at the seams.
If you're going to fire one, you got to fire all three.
I agree. No, I agree with that, Mike. You're absolutely right. I mean,
right, but Mike, don't you see? In my opinion, what you do is you fire Rocco now to hope that gives them the players a jump start, and then after the season, the chief baseball officer goes.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean,
I don't let him do a lot more too. Like, I'm not allowing a lot more trades for I believe every trade that Derek Falvey has made for immediate help, like to help in the race, has been a disaster. And that Cincinnati one, the Malley trade now. I mean, Spencer Steer is good, and this kid that they've got in the minors, Encarnacion, is fantastic. That thing is that might be one of, on the Twins, Brock Fabruglio spectrum.
Yeah.
As far as just terrible trades go.
Yeah, and now they're in a situation where the only trade they can make if they want to, and there really is no reason to try to boost their chances of winning the division, because who cares, right?
That's what I keep saying. Yeah,
it doesn't matter because you're still going to lose, immediately in any kind of postseason play.
Yep.
The division itself is a joke, but the only thing you could do would be to trade a pitcher for an everyday player.
Yes.
It's time, and
the farm system also now, because of the previous trades, is depleted.
Yeah.
And so, like, you would need to trade Bailey Ober.
Yeah, that would be, he would be a good target if you did want to, if you wanted to trade a pitcher, because you could get something for him, and his value in the long run is questionable.
I would fire the manager first. I honestly would. That would be because the thing about this entire, if you trade for a bat, Mike, the problem is, are Correa and Buxton going to get going? And we are now past the All-Star break, so there's no slump here. This isn't a slump.
No.
This is a bad season.
Well, they're somewhat reminiscent. People would like to think, not that any of us were around in 1906, but people. Well, because in 1906 you had the hitless wonders.
What?
The Chicago White Sox.
Chicago White Sox.
I went to their games then. And they were called the hitless wonders because they had a team batting average of 230.
Whoa!
And the Twins have a batting average of 232.
Yeah.
But,
there you go.
But the Twins, the comparison is somewhat fraught because the hitless wonders won, I think, something like 96 games.
Well, some of them were rigged, though.
Yeah,
let's not forget that part.
Well, that's the best part for a gambler.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, those were the good old days.
When you could win money by cheating.
But the Twins are not the hitless wonders. They're wondering why they're hitless.
Thank you. You worked really hard on that. So sorry for jumping in there.
Just a total ad lib.
I thought it was
really because you weaved in 1906, which I was impressed by. And then you brought it back to the Twins. I thought that was good stuff. So
well, that's what it's like to be a professional.
And Mike, by the way,
what are you looking at me
speaking of T-shirts, what can I get for a Stretch and Z?
I probably shouldn't even say this, but I do have a couple in mint condition.
Sure.
And those two I never wore. I could see the value of that coming in the next century.
Oh, the fact that you didn't wear it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yes,
you can't wear them.
No, you can't wear them.
No, once you wear them, the value is gone.
I did love that show. That was a good show.
I wonder. There's probably you could probably find one on eBay, wouldn't you think?
Well, I can look right now.
Sure, yeah.
I can Google Stretch and Z T-shirts and see what's out there.
Now, what I did have, and it's sort of on loan, like paintings are on loan to the Louvre, that kind of thing. What I did have was an autographed Boys of Summer baseball from the Dodgers. That was the Boys of Summer, the celebrated Boys of Summer. And that thing, after I gave it away, I didn't really give it away. I just loaned it out. But I found out it was worth up to $50,000.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So what year are we talking? What year was the ball?
Oh, that was 1956. Is that right?
That's probably about right.
I think it was about right. Yeah, but I would have loaned it out anyway because those things don't really inspire me that much.
Okay, you can say the word Dodgers, but you can't say the word Sandy Koufax because I thought when I was a little boy we were going to win the World Series.
Oh yeah.
And then Sandy Koufax in Game 7 smoked our ass.
Yeah, why couldn't Yom Kippur have existed for another week?
Yeah, one more week.
Yeah, it's all we needed was one more week of the high holidays.
What game didn't he pitch in because of that?
Well, he claimed that he was going to be spending that, that one day especially in the synagogue, but it turns out that he was just hanging out in his hotel room.
Well,
and he was getting room service, and it probably wasn't even kosher.
God, these are great memories. They really are. They're amazing.
We don't think we'll be remembering these twins in the same way.
No, I gotta believe you're.
But what about this, Judd? What about we just have a clearance sale, and we bundle the worst three? There's the big three and the worst three, and the worst three, of course, are everybody knows Joey Gallo and Max Kepler. But I would throw in Buxton. I think Buxton should retire.
I do too.
You know the problem there is?
Yeah.
He and Correa have no trade clauses.
Right.
So you can't trade either one unless they okay it.
Well, you would think that they might be happy to go to some teams at least, but I don't know. Buxton's, what's he hitting? It's like 206, right?
Yeah, he's in the low 200s.
And Kepler's batting 207, which might be a high point in his career going forward. And then you got Gallo who's hitting, 185 or something?
Gallo makes no sense.
Why it makes no sense. He and Kepler, no sense. You can see where they keep, the thing about Buxton is, what value really is he to the team?
Well, the thing, too, is he not only is at 210 or something like that, but his at-bats have become really difficult to watch because it's the Sano theory of, I'm either going to hit a home run or strike out, and because he can only DH, he's essentially tying up a position that they were thrilled to free up when they finally traded Nelson Cruz a few years back, because then you can rotate guys through there.
Yeah.
And now it's quite clear he's not going to play the outfield all season. So
and the Twins
they got to figure out something.
The Twins do have an oversupply of designated hitters who have to actually put a glove on, and when they get into the field, they're liabilities. Jose Miranda's never going to be able to play third base.
Julian at second base, you guys.
Disaster.
He looks like he's going out in the field with a frying pan. He's Norwood-esque.
Yeah.
Willie Norwood. I miss Willie.
Hey,
we put together,
that was my
Mike,
favorite year covering the Twins, the Willie Norwood year.
Mike, if we put together a team, and Tom, all-time Twins fielding team, that's the absolute worst. Norwood in center. I would have said Todd Walker at second, but now I think it's Julian. Miranda makes a case at third base, but I think there was probably worse there.
He probably doesn't qualify is the only problem. He hasn't played enough.
Well, probably not. But I'm just saying you could come up with a all basically frying pan glove team.
Oh, yeah.
And there's candidates that will be out there from the 2023 Twins.
Oh, there's no question. And this team under the Troika, this team has never valued defense. They just put guys anywhere.
Right. No, that's Mike. I think that's a very good point you make, because it's like, what's he doing out there?
Yeah.
And then you got outfielders who can play the field but can't hit.
Well, they're so desperate at this point for offense too.
Yes.
That they'll just put anyone anywhere. And the thing about my theory, at least, I don't have the analytics to show it, so I probably shouldn't say it. But my theory is that there's a domino effect when you have guys on the team like Buxton, Gallo, Kepler. I hate to say the name again.
Love him.
That's Kepler with a reverse K, by the way.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, for baseball insiders.
I get it.
But the problem is that when you got guys like that in the lineup, they bring everybody else down.
Yeah, I agree.
And one of the reasons is that guys are coming to bat now, and rarely is there anyone on base. And the fact is, if there are people on base, you're going to have a better batting average.
Yeah.
Because the pitcher has to worry about the runner. Because as the base is low, the pitcher has to throw strikes. They can't just shoot for the corners. So everything gets worse.
I do like the fact that they got rid of that shift, though. That I never did like that.
Yeah.
We've got 9 guys, and every one of them is to the right of second base.
And it actually hasn't helped anybody. It was supposed to be the thing that reignited Kepler's career, and he's worse than he's ever been.
Yeah,
that was such a load of crap, though. Same for Gallo. It's going to be like, well, if they can't play the third baseman on the right side of the infield or the outfield, I guess, it's going to help them a ton. Talk about a Pollyanna bunch of BS. These guys aren't. First of all, Gallo is going to hit home runs or nothing. It does. So ultimately, the shift or no shift. And Kepler's had one good year, and it was 2019. And the fact that these guys, and this is my biggest problem with Falvey, the fact that these guys remained stuck in 2019 when the ball was juiced and you could hit home runs all the time.
Yeah.
And now the game has changed for the better. It's a better game now, and it's been sped up, and it's also the ball's not juiced. The fact they will not adjust, to me, is a fireable offense.
Now, I have some inside information about Kepler, which suggests that he's probably gone. Well, I got to look at his diary the other day.
He has a diary?
Well, in my telling, he does.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, Dear Diary, I think I'm in big trouble. When I'm walking down the hallway and Grandpa Bremer sees me coming, he averts his eyes.
Really?
Yeah, when he won't look at you, you know you're gone.
When Dick won't look at you?
No, that's
you got to
bad.
go.
Yeah.
Good sign.
You know what's funny about that? There is, and I'm not joking, there is a tell on the Bally's broadcasts.
Oh, absolutely.
Always be alert for when the announcers, when Dick, and it might be Morneau, it might be Perkins, anyway, always be alert for when they start to criticize players.
Oh, they're gone.
Twins players.
They're gone. Kiss of death.
It is the kiss of death.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the other thing is, like,
because they've gotten the okay.
And well, yeah, they've been told. And like Grandpa will say, he'll say, strike three, Kepler strikes out again. It's that kind of thing. He won't say again, but you can hear it in his thoughts.
You know, the only reason I'm reluctant to go after Joey Gallo is there was once a mobster named Joey Gallo, so just the name alone.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yes, good call.
I think you're doing great.
Keep up the great work.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work.
Well, it could be worse. His name could be Joey Gambino.
Joey Gambino would be even worse. You're right.
Stay away from him.
Absolutely right. I don't know. I'm such a huge Twins fan. It's so hard, and they're back at it tonight. I'm assuming it's a night game.
Tomorrow night, I think, isn't it?
Oh, it's not till tomorrow night?
Yeah. This.
Oh, that would
you
make
have to
sense.
remember
Friday,
that
Saturday, Sunday.
This is the longest 4 days of the year for a gambler.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm like, I found myself knitting the other day. I got to take up something.
You know who was just knitting just now? Welcome Doug Sprinthal live and the new GM from Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin, home of my new EV Ford Mustang online. It's flagshipford.com. Dougie, what do you think of our Minnesota Twins?
Oh, you almost anticipated what I was talking to John about last night. Because the Pohlads recently bought our closest competitor, and I thought, it'd make a pretty funny pre-recorded ad to rip on them and our competitors and the Twins all at the same time.
Honest to God, so over in Baldwin, they made a purchase?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yep, they did. They bought Hudson Ford, I think about the first of the year.
But wait a second, where are they going to get the money?
Yeah. They're pretty good at that, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I can tell because like when I see, and you see it every few years, when you see a new wing being added to the to the Pohlad mansion. Now it's not the guy who's running the Twins, but when you see a member of the Pohlad family adding another wing to their mansion around Lake of the Isles.
Oh, Lake of the Isles, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, then some dividends have just been cashed.
I understand. God bless them, I guess. But yeah, they're the Twins, Doug. We got to do something about the Twins. So what are you gonna do?
I don't know. You guys are more in tune with that than I am. It's heartbreaking. We were lucky enough to have 5 or 6 really good years, and since I've moved here in 1970, but that's been about it.
Oh well, what the hell? So how's everything else going in your life? You enjoyed your time on the boat, I heard. We talked about it a bit yesterday.
Had so much fun. Well, we did 2 things. We're talking about 2 things. The Hubbard cruise was great, but my wife's birthday is the 4th of July, and we always take that first week off and go up and down the river. And we spent 2 days in Red Wing with Peter Peter Bourne and his wife.
Right.
He put on this show for the town of Red Wing. It was unbelievable. He had a brass marching band. He had some young kids that played from Red Wing playing really good rock. Mick Sterling showed up. Sarah sat in with him. And then there was a band called the Lonesome Losers. And it was a bunch of musicians, guys and gals in their 20s, and they played great yacht rock. I mean, tough stuff like Little River Band and Steely Dan and stuff. They're unbelievable. And Peter set the whole thing up. It was... He's been traveling up and down the river in his floating recording studio, just having a blast. When I grow up, I think I want to be him.
LRB doing Lonesome Loser. That's phenomenal. They named themselves after a great song.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm going to check them out sometime in a club. So that's been fun. It's. I love summer in Minnesota. I wish it was longer than 15 minutes, but that's the way it goes.
I understand that completely. But you know what? That's one thing. I'm glad you bring this up once in a while, because one of the great things about living in a land of 10 to 15,000 lakes, whatever it is, you can get out there. You don't have to drive very far at all to get to some magnificent lakes, the rivers, all the rest of it. What a great place to live in the summertime.
It really is. It's beautiful.
It is.
I gotta make a comment. I was listening, as I always do on the way in. The 20 minutes that you and Rudy were trying to feign interest about the Barbie movie was hysterical.
They did a good job. They did a good job pretending for me and Kristyn. We appreciate that.
I got to be honest, Doug. I didn't have to pretend. I'm a big fan. I can't wait.
Oh, you are?
I can't
Okay.
wait. Yeah, Taylor Swift and Barbie. Those are my jams right now.
Rudy is my spirit animal at the end of the day.
There you go.
All righty, then. Enough of that.
No picking on that anymore?
My daughter's excited to go to the Barbie movie, and the other big opening this week, which I can't remember, she's going to go to both of them.
Oppenheimer? Is that?
Yep, that's right.
It is Oppenheimer, yep. No doubt about it.
It sounds like two wildly different films.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about Cars for a minute, if we could.
Why? Thank you very much. Great to be here.
You know, we're supposed to try to sell the dang thing.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about new Fords for a minute, because they've come out with some incentives. You know, during COVID and the chip crisis, our inventories are still low, but they're coming back. All the low interest rate stuff disappeared. Well, it started to come back. Ford F-150 is the number one selling vehicle in North America ever since I started selling cars 40 years ago. They do have 0% on the new ones for 36 months. Now, most people go, yeah, that's still a pretty high payment. You go out to 60 months, it's only 3.9, which in today's interest rate world is pretty attractive. And I tell a lot of people that are paying cash, I said, why don't you do this instead? Take the 36 months at 0%, take the cash you were going to do, stick it in a CD at 5%, you're going to make money on it, and then you can pay the loan off, and when it comes due in 36 months. So it works out pretty well. So a lot of options. We got some great leases on Ford trucks. Now, these are expensive crew cabs. They're $60,000 trucks, but sign and drive lease payments are in the sixes, which is, that's pretty affordable for a $60,000 vehicle. You can see all of these online at flagshipford.com. Or, if you have questions, you can always reach out to me directly at doug@flagshipford.com.
I think it's a magnificent idea. Can I tell my Little River Band story quickly, since you brought up
Of course you
Lonesome
can.
Loser?
You can take the rest of the day. You do realize that it's called the Tom Barnard Podcast,
Tom
right?
Brainerd. It's unbelievable. Yep. When I was at Capitol Records, of course, Little River Band was on the Capitol label. So I used to travel with them all the time. And Glenn Sharrock was the lead singer, or is the lead. They're not together anymore, I don't think, but Glenn Sharrock was the lead singer. So I pick him up at the Omaha, Nebraska airport, because I'm going to take him on tour of all the radio stations.
Yeah.
And we get there. This is after they've been kicking ass the top of the charts for years, right? So we get to the radio station in Omaha, Nebraska. And I come in. I said, Glenn Sharrock, this is Billy Buke or whatever his name was. I don't know what the hell his name was. But in any case, so I introduce him. We go on the air. And the host of the show says, very, very excited to tell you that today in the studio, one of the great bands, the Little River Band, and remember, his name is Glenn Sharrock, okay? One of the great bands, I'll tell you right now, they're on fire. They got so many hits going. Please welcome one of my favorite singers, George Shark.
Which honestly, like, that's better. That's pretty good.
Well,
George,
you know,
instead of Glenn Sharrock, George Shark.
I mean, sounds like me in our interview today.
Well, that's true. Kenny.
Yeah.
The news just doesn't travel that fast. You know, when you get to Omaha,
Yeah, well.
you're a few years behind.
And Glenn looked at me like, Bernard, you son of a bitch.
Right.
He's like, it was my fault.
Just daggers.
What a great guy. A wonderful guy, as a matter of fact.
Let's not forget the famous Al pacing, however. Anybody can make a mistake.
Oh, that was in the old days. We were going to do an interview. Al Pacino.
I know.
And I was given the thing. They just, here's how you do the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Pacing. I went, oh, God. Instead of Al Pacino, they put Al Pacing.
I know.
And nothing's worse than Magnumpy, though.
Oh, Magnumpy was pretty bad.
Where did that one come from?
Where did Magnumpy come from?
I can't remember, but...
God, Magnumpy.
Isn't it? I just wanted to die after I realized I said Kenny, and I wrote it down so quick. And it'll stick with me, and I'll like even want to message him.
Kenny Heffernan.
I hate when I accidentally do something like that, because this guy is huge, he's lovely, it's awesome there on a show. I hate when something like that happens. I feel like, because you just don't want to you want to make people feel as important as they are, more, and yeah, I hate it.
Well,
that's why that Will Ferrell bit is so funny in Newsman, where he says "F you, San Diego."
I know. We're we are just monsters.
Dougie, we're getting a big response having you back after 6 months of not doing these spots together. Having you back, people love it. So that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
We got
go ahead, Britt.
We got a message from Mike. A listener wrote in, and he said, "Tell Doug I thought of a tagline for Flagship Ford. Are you ready for it?"
Ooh,
I am ready. What is it?
We even sell pretty cars to ugly people.
That's not bad.
But I feel like that's it. Are you attacking? Who are you attacking on this, Mike? But people write in all the time for you, Doug. They love having you on.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, come on over and buy some fireworks and pick up a Ford on the way back, and life will be good.
What, Gelfand? Don't look at me like that.
I'm speechless.
You really are.
Well, not really, but everything I can think of is negative, so I just don't say it.
Dougie, we'll say it again, man. It's great to be back doing these spots with you. It's just fantastic.
Come on in, Doug. Come on.
Yeah, Doug.
Well, we're going to be doing Car Selling Secrets, I think, once a month. I'll be able to get out of Baldwin to do a Thursday, and maybe we'll have to schedule it, maybe the first Thursday of the month. And I would like, obviously, I miss Tom, but I miss you as well, Mike. We had so much fun together last year, so we'll get that band back going again.
Plus, getting a ride here was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot.
It's not my main motivation, but
You got a ride to work.
yeah. Well, it's a long ride for me.
Mm-hmm.
The very first time I asked him to do it, he goes, "Hey, you don't like to drive?" And I said, "Well, Mike, I could pick you up, And wide-eyed wonderment, like an 8-year-old, "You'd pick me up?" And I said, "Yeah, it's 3/4 of a mile from the studio. We could actually walk it if we had to."
I'll tell you, for me, though, it's a very long 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You're fine. Should we send somebody out for you?
Yes.
Okay. What were you saying, Dougie?
I was going to say I'm buying cars online as we speak, so I have to go back and do my actual job.
All right, Douglas Sprinthal, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Over and out. Have a great day, everybody.
Longtime friend of the Tom Barnard Show, Doug Sprinthal from Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Online, head to flagshipford.com. I already bought a car from them, and you love my Mustang.
I love it. I just parked next to it. It is, I can't wait for you to let me drive it.
Maybe you're saying that might be a long wait.
Just like around the parking lot. Well, maybe the parking lot's a little aggressive. Just like in your cul-de-sac.
I still love the fact that they had to bring the cars back when they first put them out because some people who bought them were driving 200 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
What are you doing?
What?
Yeah, apparently the car, unless you regulate it, or, whatever the phrase might be, the thing would do like 200 miles an hour.
Those must have been the people I saw and still see quite regularly going north on Highway 100.
Oh, you got that right. There's no doubt. Oh, my God. This morning coming in, because you get in that lane, you come in north on 100. It's, what do they call it? What do they call that lane again? There's big yellow signs for it and all the rest of it.
Like the Diamond Lane?
Oh, like the carpool lane. Is that what you're saying?
It's not a carpool lane either. Those are in the middle. This is when you exit to come to this building. It comes right to Cedar Lake Road.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exit to Cedar Lake Road.
Yeah.
It's a different name. But
Turn off or whatever.
So they have, I've been there, but you're saying they have a yellow thing?
Yeah, they have a yellow thing.
I guess I missed that.
Okay, well, here's the deal. So I need to exit on the Cedar Lake Road exit. It's not called that on that side. It's something else.
Yeah. Right.
But I got a guy behind me who's doing about $110.
I hate that feeling.
And then I got a guy exiting from the other, which I guess would be Minnetonka Boulevard, I guess, something like that. And he's doing about 30.
Sure.
So I got nowhere to go.
No.
I'm like, holy Christ.
Well, remember when I brought you to your appointment right before you went to Disney, and we were getting on Highway 100, and that guy almost hit us. He was just flew by at about like 110 miles an hour, and we both just started swearing at him. We both were irate.
There's a phenomenon that I don't quite understand, although I guess I could probably figure it out, and that is that the heavier the vehicle is behind you, the more they're going to crowd you.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that is true.
And I'm same thing. Like today, I'm just exiting from Highway 100, and there's a guy. It's I don't know. It's one of these like 4-ton pickup trucks, right?
Yeah.
And again, I have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I can't go any faster than the car in front of me.
This is true.
And I look there, and there it is. There's like 6 tons of metal, like about 4 feet from me.
That's the least surprising thing in the world, though, because those guys with big trucks are always crowding you.
Yeah,
every time.
Well, right, because they want. What's the point of having huge muscles if you can't flex, right?
Exactly.
But I have a question for you. What kind of mileage do those vehicles get? About a half a mile per gallon, or seriously, they must burn gas like a madman.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah.
They're huge.
Because they're so heavy.
No question about it, ladies and gentlemen. How come nobody's going up to there and knocking on their window and going, the environment's being destroyed by people like you?
Yes.
So why don't they do that?
Well, because they can't run that fast.
They'd have to run pretty fast. You're absolutely right about that. No question about it. So, Judd, what else you got? You have to be out by 38?
Real quick, guys, we got to take a break still. We haven't gone into our break at 9:15 yet. No.
Oh, my God.
No.
Doug was being a pain in the ass.
That's all Judd's fault.
Good call, though. We'll move the other one to 9:50 then. That'll work perfectly. We'll be right back.
Yeah. This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
So, if you've been following my progress with MinnesotaFatLoss.com, I've lost right at 27 pounds, and you can too with the MNFatLoss.com summer special, $200 off, now only through July 30th. I'm going into my maintenance phase. I can't recommend this program any higher. Of course, any fat loss program is going to take some effort, but honestly, with MNFatLoss.com comes secret to fat loss. This program was way easier than I expected. The maintenance program allows me to add back in some more of the foods I love and still maintain my weight loss. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and save $200 with their summer special. $200 off now through July 30th. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you. We've been hearing about the new technology offered at Twin Cities Premier Health for the treatment of ED. This is one of those topics that can get uncomfortable to talk about, but the truth is, if new technology can improve your life by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction, why wouldn't we want to talk about it? Look, I've been going there I think I'm on my 6th treatment this week. Things go very well. It takes about 10, 15 minutes, not a big deal at all. It's a non-invasive, non-surgical, highly effective science-based procedure that creates an increase in blood flow and helps create new blood vessels by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction. If, like so many of my listeners, you aren't interested in continuing to take a pill to create a pharmaceutically induced erection and wipe all the spontaneity out, reach to the Twin Cities Premier Health like I did and right now receive this special offer. A free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. This is valued at $800, 952-395-4346. That's my unique phone number, 952-395-4346 for their office. Or go to TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. Be sure to tell them Tom Barnard sent you. Why do you have to be up by 38? I've never liked you. I want you to know that.
I'm really sorry about that. I'm really sorry. I gotta get the Royce, though. You see, I'm juggling legends in the market. That's the issue.
Oh, wow. Must be nice to be Judd.
Where's my
juggling legends?
Barnard to how can I mispronounce Patrick's name? Rousset.
Reuse. He was. I know a guy in the air once called him Patrick.
Is that because he
Reuse.
reuses his lead all the time?
So, Judd, damn it. Well, you're going to be on. No, you're not going to be on tomorrow. Phil's on tomorrow.
Yeah, Phil's on tomorrow. I'm back on Tuesday.
I hate the fact that you had to go away so quickly. We got all distracted. My fault.
Okay, Judd. Judd, who's going to win the division?
Cleveland.
All right.
There you go.
I
So we
agree.
don't have to worry about
They're
it.
managed well. They don't hit a lot, but you know what? They I don't think this is going to end for the Twins. Like, I think they're going to continue to scuffle. They'll probably, like, they could sweep the A's, but who gives a crap? And the Twins do have an easy schedule, but if any team does not deserve to win a division right now, it's the Twins. So,
all right.
That's the sad thing.
You'll get no argument from me. All right, Pally. Sorry about all the
All right,
confusion
everybody.
today.
Talk
My
to you on
fault.
Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Judd Zolgad. Ladies and gentlemen, SKOR North, of course. And now we're back to just the Fab Four.
The core 4.
Without George Shark.
George Shark.
I still love it. Glenn Sharrock becomes George Shark.
God, that's going to happen to so many of people, especially musicians that you're bringing around the country.
Oh, shit. But, constantly.
I know.
And, of course, Tom Brainerd was like, no, it's not Tom Brainerd.
So many times people have come up to me and said things like, hey, you're Bob Sansevier, aren't you?
Oh, yes,
That's
absolutely.
Huge insult.
And of course, well, I have a ready response for that. I say, listen, you asshole, just get away from me.
That's why you can't get a job in this city.
And I just love the fact every time I do that, there are hundreds of people who eventually will say, I heard this horrible thing about Bob Sansevier.
I did too. Typical, though, for an Italian.
Well, and you know Sansevier because he's such an angry guy.
God, Sandy.
You
Is
know,
there anybody happier than
one of the
Sandy?
most congenial guys I've ever known.
You can't get him excitable. Like,
No.
you can't.
No.
I mean, he'll get all whatever, but he doesn't. He'll take it all. He just kind of goes, whatever.
Never gets offended.
No, ever.
Yeah. I want to be Bob Sansevier.
Same.
And then in my next reiteration.
I will tell. Ooh, a reiteration, not just an iteration.
Well, I was
reiteration.
going to say iteration, and what I said was actually redundant. I'm sorry.
It was. No, don't worry about it. Don't look at me.
I feel bad.
It's okay. I called the person, a very famous person, Kenny today. So.
Kenny Heffernan, great guy that he is,
We've
ladies
all-
and gentlemen. It all works out in the end. You were fine.
Shut
Don't
up.
worry
Don't
about
be
a
nice
thing.
to me. It's worse. Be mean to me.
You suck.
Thank you.
There you go.
It's worse when you're nice to me because then I know I really screwed up. You feel bad.
I will never. Why are the things not long enough now? What the hell are we doing?
What?
I can't go down and pee anymore because I never make it back in time.
No, you're fine. I don't want you to think you can't leave. That's why I feel bad that I screwed
I left
up.
and you said Kenny.
Yeah, but I did good with the Kristyn. Me and Kristyn had a great conversation about the Emmys.
I thought it was horrible.
Well, you also just hate my voice, so there's that.
She's horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. I have never seen anybody that could scrunch themselves up in a chair like you.
Do you know what's so funny?
That's amazing.
You're like the fourth person to tell me that this week. That
You can fold up your body like there's no tomorrow.
I try so hard not to fidget, but I have to get like sit in a ball, sit cross. I don't know what it is. It's just a disease.
It's probably the yoga thing.
Maybe it's that.
Yeah, I actually went to school at St. Joseph's with a kid who was going to the Shrine Circus at the time.
Whoa.
And they had little people. They weren't called little people back then.
Yeah.
But he even mispronounced that word.
Oh,
he
no.
did not say, I'm going to see the midgets. He said, I'm going to see the fidgets.
Oh, no.
And I said, fidgeting is not the same thing.
No, but a lot of us short people do like to fidget.
Well, maybe that's what he meant.
When I was in 7th or 8th grade, those were the days when I weighed 65 pounds.
Sure.
Yeah.
The big fella.
My social studies teacher nicknamed me Spider.
Why Spider?
Well, because I could just curl up in a chair.
You're honest, because she can too.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I guess I still can, actually.
Can you really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Never been able to do that.
You've got good flexibility. The other day you kicked in the air, and I was really impressed. I think you kicked higher than I could.
What was that? What did I do?
No, Tom
Tom.
kicked in the air.
You
He was
did?
trying to show his shoes, and he shot his leg up, and I was like, okay.
You did have to pull your leg up.
I told
As
you.
you do.
I was like,
I can only do that with one leg.
see, it was impressive.
I'm trying to get it on camera.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm trying to get it on camera. Oh, now my other leg hurts. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, moving forward. So what else is in the news that we should talk about?
Oh, let's see. A woman gave birth to a 13.2-pound baby.
That's a keeper.
I think
You don't have to throw that one back.
No.
No, I will tell her one thing. Mark Merrow's my good friend, was born, he weighed 13 pounds, 2 ounces, ended up being about 6'4", about 240, and you didn't want to piss Mark off, let me put it that way.
Even when he was born, he could probably take me out.
Probably true, honestly. Well, again, my name is Thomas because they thought I was twins.
Yeah. How much did you weigh?
11 pounds.
Whoa.
I was almost 2 feet tall, too. I was like 23 inches long and weighed 11 pounds.
I don't mean this in a bad way, but did your mom have diabetes?
No.
Okay.
Which is surprising, by the way.
Because a lot of times those big babies, and you can have gestational diabetes and not have actual diabetes, like you just get it when you're pregnant.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And that they didn't used to check for that, and that's usually why there
really?
were so many big babies born before you'd screen for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my mom wanted an easy delivery, and that's why she smoked 2 packs of Chesterfields a day while she was pregnant.
Keeping that weight down for Mikey.
Yeah, and of course, it had no negative effect on me, except I'm going blind, and I don't want to get into it. But
Other than that, though.
Yeah.
Didn't you look up the biggest baby ever born? And wasn't it like 20
Yeah, we looked at
pounds
that.
or
Oh,
some
yeah.
damn thing?
It was something who survived. That was
It was huge. Yeah, who survived, right.
Yeah.
It was a huge baby.
My computer's like, why do you keep searching this? There's one that only survived 11 hours.
Oh.
So that doesn't count.
I don't know. They have it on there as 23 pounds.
Oh, my God.
I was 4 before I weighed that much.
That might be right. That could be it.
Oh.
So, literally, that would have to be C-section, correct?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
That's actually D-section. That's how bad it is.
They'd have to D-section.
They just had to slice the baby in 2.
Oh, it only lived 11 hours.
I know. Now we have to go on to something else because, of course, I'll get emo. But I don't know. I can't find the one that who had survived.
How about the tallest baby ever born?
All right, I'm on it.
Because I bet you it's got to be over 2 feet, because I was almost 2 feet tall when I was born. So it's got to be 30 inches or something, I suppose.
You nailed it. 30 inches.
Yeah,
Largest
there you
newborn
go.
ever recorded.
There. Jesus, Gibbon Bird, is the kid ever going to finish coming out?
Right? It's still currently coming out of her.
It never had made it all the way out. Those are big children, no question about it.
Those are monsters.
They are indeed. So, Mike, what else is happening in your world?
What's happening in my world? Well, nothing really to speak of.
So none of my business.
No, I'm. It's summer in the diaspora, and so you walk down the street, and generally speaking, there's 14 children playing in the middle of the street.
Yes.
While their parents are sitting in a lawn chair reading the Old Testament.
The Old Testament.
That's
Why
what
the
happens.
Old Testament?
Well, because the Old Testament is the Bible.
So it's a nice Jewish neighborhood?
They don't acknowledge the New Testament.
No, I know they don't.
I don't acknowledge either, so I'm not criticizing them.
Was it a well-written book? I've never read it.
Well, it's hard to know by today's standards.
I suppose
that's true.
But I have a few pronoun questions. That's for sure.
Okay.
The third act was a little lacking, but the rest of it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Well, because with the Old Testament, they really hit the peak, I think, with Leviticus. And Leviticus should have been the final book. You know, because Leviticus, that's where you get what then were the versions of the auto chase that we have in today's movies. You know, that was the part where you were told to kill people if they didn't believe in the same God you
Well,
do.
of course. Why wouldn't you?
And they should have saved that for the climactic moment,
Yeah.
the denouement.
The denouement. Oh, I like denouement.
And it could have been sort of like, you know, maybe like the burning of Los Angeles was in the Day of the Locust.
Oh,
you could have had a huge scene where the people were rising up. Well, wait a minute, that's actually just happening every day now in this country. So I can't go into that.
I have a question for you. Like, I went to Catholic school, and I used to get in arguments with the priests and the nuns and all that stuff about this, that, and the other thing, even when I was a little boy.
I could see that.
But my whole life, it's always been, I know I'm not the biggest deal. There's something bigger and better than me.
You had perspective.
Why is that not enough? Why do people have to be told tales about all this stuff?
I don't know. It's a weird thing. I think part of it is probably about shame, though.
You think it is a big shame?
And shame
I
is
would
a
have
big
to
part of
agree with you.
religion.
It
Any
is,
religion.
yes.
I'm
Yes.
not. But the weird thing is that the people who have the least shame tend to be the most religious.
You know what's so great about that? After all the years of knowing him, Mike Gelfand just looked at me and said, "Tom, you have no shame. That's why you don't read them."
Shameless.
You're
the shameless Bernard.
I mean, look at this whole thing where we're not supposed to tell children about history because they'll feel bad about themselves. As an example.
I don't know this one. Where'd that come from?
Oh, that's a huge thing. I mean, that's
is it?
like that's what's going on in the South every day now. You
Oh,
can't,
is it?
you know, I mean, like in Oklahoma, you can't tell kids about the
Your
worst.
homeland.
I always go back to Oklahoma
Sure.
and Tulsa. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, you can't, you know, there's laws like you can't teach children about the worst race riot there ever was in this country.
Why not?
Well, because they'll feel bad about themselves.
Well, so what?
Well, they won't feel bad about themselves, but that's the
that's true.
That's the rationale.
So which one did they choose as the worst?
Well, the one that was the worst was in Tulsa in 1921.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
And my dad was born in 1922, so he just kind of missed it. But he never told me about it.
Thank God my parents were both born in 1920, but they were up in Long Prairie and Browerville, Minnesota, so they didn't anywhere near that stuff. You know what I mean?
The good life.
Yes, the good life in Browerville, Minnesota. So the whole idea was they brought African slaves into the Tulsa area. Is that what the whole deal was all about back in the 1800s?
No, it's just that there was a vibrant black community, and they had, you know, there were a lot of black businesses. And
But they all descended from slaves,
and the
right?
white and the well, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the KKK didn't like it that these people were thriving, so they burned down all the houses and businesses of black people.
I just love that. You're doing well. I better harm you.
Yeah.
But that's how people still they're about that. They're that way about everybody and everything. If you get too successful or too well known, they will attack you and try to burn you to the ground. And in this case, it doesn't even matter what your skin color is. Oh, you're succeeding? Well, I better not. The one thing about Minnesota I've always hated, and I heard it the first time when I was like 5 years old, I've never heard it anywhere else in the world. We need to knock you down a peg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do we?
Well, the thing is, there are two great stories that everyone, let's just say that the consumer public always relishes. And the first one is the rags to riches story.
Yeah.
And the second one is the riches to rags story.
The riches to rags story. You're absolutely right. We have to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few minutes left in the show. It is time to beat the heat. It's Tom Barnard from my friends at Miller Marine and Power Lodge, giving you the keys to a cool lake breeze with clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more. Our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do both of us a favor and go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoons and tri-tune packages at doorbuster price. I said doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all the Power Lodge locations, of course. Get your first cruise in by sunset. I love doing that anyway. Cruising at sunset's magnificent. But don't wait on this limited time special. That's the important part. Power Lodge offers competitive financing with no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at elite savings. And if I say it's elite, damn it. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com. Snag some throttle therapy for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages. Well, look who's here.
Did you miss me, Big Ticket?
Like an open sore Mrs. Carmex, man. Seriously, Doug, where have you been?
I'm running Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
The fireworks capital, just 15 minutes east of the St. Croix?
That's the place. Anyway, I've come up with some marketing slogans, to put us on the map. Read these and let me know what you think.
Okay. Flagship Ford, drive a lot, save a little. Flagship Ford, you think you hate it now? Wait till you drive it. Flagship Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Flagship Ford, where the cows are nervous. Flagship Ford, there is no ship, but we actually do literally have a flag.
Awesome, huh? Read this. It's my favorite.
Flagship Ford, white cars for... Oh, hell no, I'm not reading that. You've been day drinking again?
Maybe. The point is, buying a car should be fun and make you giggle a little bit. This is a great store I'm really proud of. You can check us out at flagshipford.com or email me directly at doug@flagshipford.com.
Flagshipford.com. This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little news, a little information. Anything important to address? Or should we get, what we should probably try to do is try to get Sam and Kenny back on.
Oh, you. See, I appreciate that more. We were just talking about the big celebration that Gelfand's going to be going to tomorrow.
What is it?
The ribbon cutting of the pavilion at B'day Makaska.
Oh, you're going to the...
Well, they're going to have me cut the ribbon.
Why?
Brittany was just saying that.
He's lying. He's lying to you through his teeth.
I was going to say, what the hell is that all
Do you
about?
walk that lake ever? I know you have a preferential lake.
I always liked running around Lake of the Isles.
Yes.
So then
nice
when
3 mile.
When I started walking, I just I was basically clinging to Lake of the Isles. And then the COVID came along, and then there were huge crowds walking around Lake of the Isles, and I said, I don't need that. Lake Calhoun is more, I guess it's more ambitious.
3 miles on the nose.
It's just a little farther than Lake of the Isles.
It's technically a little under 3, I think.
It's a little under 3, and Lake of the Isles is what, 2.3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. You know that.
So running around Lake of the Isles.
I used to run it all the time. That's why.
Oh yeah, I mean, I ran around Lake of the Isles every day. And sometimes if you're really pumped up, you might go around twice.
Or do a figure 8 with
But I love Lake of the Isles because it's just interesting.
Oh, it's it got some nice houses on it. I know that.
Well, nice houses and just the landscaping is cool.
It is gorgeous.
And the fact that the lake is not a perfect circle by any means. You're going in and out.
No. Yeah.
And after I always ran around and walked around the same way every day. Started the same way.
Sure.
So it's like so you're going like a quarter of a mile and then you're thinking, oh, well, this is great. Now comes the concrete part where it sort of arcs around a little bit.
Now, Harriet's what, 3.3 miles?
Yes.
Something like that.
That one is I think just a touch over 3.
And Lake Harriet is tough to run, especially in the winter.
Oh, really?
Because you get that cold northern wind coming when you head back toward the pavilion.
That's true.
I had a nanny family that lived on Lake of the Isles.
That's great to be.
Who lived on Lake of the Isles, and sometimes I would see Gelfand walking when I'd go home because he would be right on his route. And I feel like one time I saw you walking and I said, "Oh, hey, Mike." I yelled out. All of a sudden later I get a text. "I'm really sorry that you saw me with another woman." I was like, I think I'll survive, Gelfand.
I like that.
You know, the thing about that kind of humor is that it doesn't play all that well in print. You know, that's the sort of thing you kind of have to. You need inflection with that one.
It was pretty funny. It was one of those texts
But you could hear me saying
Absolutely, I could hear it. Plus, just from you, that's just hilarious. Like, I would like to apologize for that.
I would like to. I just got a text message from a guy I grew up with who said, "Remember running around Theodore Worth? But it wasn't for exercise. It was to try to get away."
I just, because of where we go to the vet,
Yeah.
I just ran Theo Worth.
Oh, did you?
It's so beautiful.
Isn't it
gorgeous.
nice? Beautiful.
The fact that we have that in Minneapolis.
I know.
It's just so
You're
much
right.
land and it's beautiful.
And of course, you know, it's a man-made lake, just like Lake of the Isles.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll never have another thing like that.
No, that's very true.
You know, that's because we need more and more cluster housing and less green space. Apparently, that's not the way I see it, but that's
again.
That's the way it is. So yeah, that's one again. You're talking about how great Minnesota is in the summer, and that's one of the big things.
Oh, I just absolutely love Minnesota in summer.
I
There's no doubt about it. Gorgeous.
But now I like to walk around the neighborhood, and I like to cut through the really wonderful little subplot of land in St. Louis Park. I don't even want to say what it is. I don't want people.
The subplot?
I don't want the throngs there.
No, I understand.
But all of a sudden, you go from houses that are worth a mere $350,000.
Sure.
That are trending more toward $3 million.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of $1.5 million houses. And the weird thing is, it's such a beautiful plot of land. But I never see any of the residents there walking.
No.
It's just it's people like me, the scum coming in from
The
outside.
scum. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when
I was going to say riffraff, but I wanted something with impact.
No, scum is good.
Scum is good.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's going to do it for that morning show. Mike Gelfand will be on with the family in just about a half hour, somewhere in there. Talk to you later.